It is definitely Saturday night. I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to the House of Sewing.
It's Russell Rush on Friday, kicking the ballistics on WIMS. Yo, I got a phone call my dog. She wants to hold cake. I said, hold up. Yo, they said you're trying to get money in. WIMS, Dallas Soul, Saturday.
Girl meets boy on Thursday night. Boy was high, girl fly like kite. They hold hands until next day. Boy then let's go hit his way. Boy rolls blunt back to his boys. Erection brings bad boy joys. Boy thinks of that big fat back. Big black fat, love big black fat. Girl calls boy to stand him up on Saturday. Saturday, Saturday is the Saturday, it's a Saturday, it's a Saturday. Saturday is the Saturday, Saturday is the Saturday.
Back once more with the wallop in the score. Sponsored by the riff should make you rock your hip. Revival of the roller boogie in the ricochet to make you think about the time we spoke fun instead of fight. But diving from a piece of metal should have that light. Slip your butt to the fix of this mix. Toss that briefcase, it's time to let loose. Cause you work like heck to get the weekend check. So unfasten that sleeper on your neck. Connected like a vibe from the wheel to the foot. Come on everybody, did the funky output.
5 days you work, one whole day to play. Come on everybody, wear your roller skates today. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Now as you pump your fists, I reminisce to a bounce rock skate roll fest to impress. Hey pretty diamond, do you like the way I'm dressed? Cool, keep the faith and be my mate, cause all we need is feet. But promote the hustle cause it keeps me thin. No need to talk, look who just walked in.
Is there a threat on stage?
Yes, man.
So kick the wham on this jam.
Oh, Mr. Sprinkler, Mr. Sprinkler. Wet me for one, Mr. Sprinkler. I'm heating high five and a day's no split. With the yawn, I trip to the dawn. Out comes the bodies following the one idea. It's clear. Rattle to the roll. Hold back up the track, grab your roller skates, y'all. And let's zip on by. Zippity doo, now let's zip on by. Feet on the weed and we're feeling high. Sun is on thick and the cheese is rolling thick. Come on, it's no time to hide. Season is twist, spinning and winning. No hack and sack, let me in. Spill on the bottom away, but it's okay. Ha, it's a Saturday. Now let's all get baked like Anita.
Watch Mr. Lawn, don't look at the Peter.
Feel on the farm, I'll feel on the.
Hey, watch that.
It's a Saturday.
Now is the time to act the fool tonight. Forget about your worries and you will be alright. It's Saturday, 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 it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday, Saturday, it's Saturday,
Hello. I hope everyone is doing well. My name is William and welcome to my so-called life. It is hot here in Southern California, but it is another beautiful day. I hope everyone's doing well. To everyone who joins me in the future, I want to absolutely thank you. To everyone who's here now, welcome. I'm a bit out of breath because I was running around because apparently I'm completely out of shape. Today has been a crazy day. I finally decided to go to the swap meet. I finally got up this morning. The summer has treated me well, so I've decided to sleep in. But I didn't go as crazy as usual, but I went crazy. I purchased a sewing machine, some fabric, and I purchased a hockey mask. When I saw the mask, I couldn't believe it, but it was definitely one of those things that that made me laugh. But before we get anywhere, this program is for entertainment purposes only, and its content is not intended to malign any religion, lack thereof, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by my so-called life and program participants are solely their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of every single human being on planet Earth. If you're having a bad day, if you need a hug, we have exits on both sides here at my so-called life airlines. That's on Mosquirda and derecha. I hope everybody has a great evening. I have a bunch of cool stuff. Eventually, I'm gonna turn the lights on. You know, the second I turn the lights on in this room, the temperature jumps. But let me clear everything before I get to the craziness that was this day. Actually, I have a really cool patch for when Kilroy comes back. I'm done with that for right now. Oh, hold on 1 second. And yes, I'm wearing my Spans. I made these about a year ago, if not longer. Has it been that long? But it's extremely hot. And when I went in my short pile, do you know how happy I was when I discovered my Spans? I forgot I made these. But I purchased, I think it was like 20 or 30 yards of that fabric from Walmart. So I have everything you could possibly think of in that print. Awesome. Hello, everybody. I'm not going to say it again. So this morning, I finally went to the swap meet. I finally got up. And the funny thing is, I went to McDonald's like I always do. And they didn't say anything. And so I park my car, I go in McDonald's, and I'm like total Karen mode. I'm like, how dare they not serve me? I walk in, there was 80 people, at least 80 people in there. So they were forgiven, and they probably did me a favor by me not eating that McMuffin. Well, let's be real, those 2 McMuffins. So I went to the swap meet. Everybody was happy to see me because they know I'm going to buy fabric. It was good to get out. But the thing that made me laugh is that when I got there, I was there at like 8:05, 8 early in the morning. I was at the swap meet. There was a large line of people because they're smart. It's hot. It gets hot. It was extremely hot when I was walking around. So, the early bird goes the worm or the fabric. You know what? Let me turn the lights on. Can't do this in the dark because I'm not doing this fabric any favor. It's just going to be hot in here. Oh. All right. So the funny thing is, the vendor that I buy all of the tweed from and all of the crazy fabric, he finally asked me the question. He was like, what do you do with all this stuff? What do you do with all this fabric and all this stuff that you have? And I told him I make clothes with it. And he looked at me kind of crazy because they use these as rugs. It didn't dawn on me today until I was standing there and I was like, I'm standing on a tweed rug right now. That's what they use them for. They've had drapes and all kinds of crazy stuff there. Hey, Dixie. Hello. Great to see you. Welcome. I'm almost to the sewing machine. Let me move all of this. Do you know what the funny thing is? I bought this from a Goodwill a while ago. I love this stand, but it gets in the way. Yay, great to see you. I was up early this morning thrifting. It was awesome. It makes me laugh. I love meeting different vendors and just meeting people in general. And it made me laugh when I turned the corner and the vendor, like, she opened her eyes and she was like, all right, this guy's back. Yay, hello, hello. So the first fabric that I got was this, and this is blue, yellow. This is very kind of 80s-ish, I guess. It's like blue. It's it has yellow in it, dark blue, baby blue, brown, white. I love this. There's a few things that I'm going to make with this. I'm in this weird era where I have so much fabric in my house that I've been buying like all kinds of odd fabric because I'm challenging myself, and I love sewing with tweed. Oh, of course, of course, of course. I went to Walmart today, and I can't forget about the oopsies. You know, this is 8 yards. I was thinking about a full outfit, like something ridiculous, like full hoodie and pants, or something really ridiculous. Maybe even something like even with a nightcap. So look out for that one. I also got this. This reminds me of the 1980s. This is green, mustard, yellow, and brown. I know what you're saying. You're saying, my friend, that is the ugliest print I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know this reminds you of every couch from 1970 down. I love this look. I'm going to do something spectacular with this. I haven't decided yet. I might even make pants. It's been that kind of summer. I'm truly WKRP and Cincinnati inspired, so I'm thinking pants with that. I'm going to go full 1970. You know what? I'm already designing them in my head. I like that. I like that. Excuse me. So the putrid drapes are definitely gonna get a makeover. I'm excited. Thank you, Mona. Thank you. I love those colors. I think it's because I'm from the tail end of the 80s, and that's what I remember is like, like 86, 87, 88 on. So my whole point is I remember that color being everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. Hello, much respect, Mr. He said. I hope you're having a good evening. Hello. It felt good to get out too. I've been enjoying my Saturdays. I've been enjoying kind of being to myself and gathering myself, and truly I've been cleaning my house, taking care of my yard, but it felt good to get back out there and be amongst the people. I will say I took some pictures. Let's see. Let me go to the group. Let's see. Oh, that's right. There's a place that I go to that they park I say Los Angeles. They park ice cream trucks. Los Angeles ice cream trucks are from a different planet. There is something about that where they're like half shady, but you can also get some nachos, a bottle of water, and a gallon of milk. So I had to take a picture of a few because a lot of these trucks are hand painted. And people go out of their way to fix these trucks up. I think that's all of them. To fix these trucks up and actually make them look like something. I don't think I have any good pictures. Let me see. Is that a picture? That is. All right. Let me open up my Twitter. But today was a good day to get out. And it was a good day to get out early because there was a ton of people out there because people are smart. They knew that it was going to get hot. And the person that I usually go to where I buy the fabric from, I'm not done yet. I still have more fabric now that I think of it. But she even told me, she was like, after noon, people do not show up here. This place, So recently it's been too windy and cold, and now that it's summer, it's too hot. It's funny how no matter where you live, you're gonna deal with the elements. Let me go to messages. I'm a bit rusty. I apologize. All right. So let me show you this. In LA, our ice cream trucks are from a different planet. So they actually look kind of sketchy when you drive past them because there's just most of them are modified trucks that people have turned into oops, don't want to show any secrets. They're modified trucks. Like someone actually cut that window in that truck. But you can get all kinds of amazing things from it. It's weird to me that other places do not have trucks like this. It's weird to me. But again, I'm from LA, You can literally get a smoothie, some nachos, and some blueberries from the ice cream truck in LA. And it always makes me laugh because every time I drive past these, I'm like, I need to take a picture of these guys because these are hand painted. Oh, good times. Good times. But the swap meet was packed. It was packed. There was wall to wall people. Usually when I go on a Saturday, no one's there. No one's there, but there was a ton of people. All right, let me click out of this. We have food vendor trucks here, but they're plain. I love the hand paint. That's what I'm saying. It gives it life. It to me, I'm like, wow, because somebody literally just bought a plain truck and completely turned it into something. I respect entrepreneurs like that. I respect people like that. All right, let me get to. So while I finally stumbled into the I call it a fabric store, but these people at the San Fernando Valley swap meet, they have this giant tent. And it's funny, you walk in and there's fabric everywhere. Don't worry, I'm going to put a short out after this live stream. But I didn't go as crazy as I normally do there because I've purchased a ton of fabric from these people. But while like Kilroy says, nothing good comes from a black plastic bag. Oh, but I've purchased a lot of fabric from these people, and I was looking at the denim, but I like right now I'm looking at least 5 or 6 yards of denim, so I chose not to buy more. I have a crazy idea. So sort of like your home. Well, there's a roof over mine. I wish I had that much fabric, Podrick. I wish. Part of me is like, what would you do with it? But the other half is like, I would go crazy. I would make all kinds of crazy things. Great to see you. Great to see you. Happy Saturday. Hello. Could you imagine? It's just rolls and rolls of fabric. They have what are those? A shipping container of fabric. Actually, you can actually see it in one of the pictures I took. It's a giant shipping container. Imagine, because sometimes I think I have a shipping container of fabric, but then you see something like that and you're like, no, you don't. I would love having that much fabric. So I walked in and it's been a while. So they were happy to see me. We were chopping it up, talking about everything except for fabric. And then she's like, so what do you want to dress like this week? And I'm like, you are my hero because you know where I'm coming from. And I said, I want to dress like a picnic table. And she says, I got you. So I haven't decided. I'm going to make crazy pants out of that other material, but I haven't decided if I'm going to I don't know if I'm going to make a coat out of this or a hoodie. I haven't decided yet, but I've covered every cliche fabric you could possibly think of except for this. This is like the last on the row, and I'm not scared of a challenge. I don't know. I have brace yourselves. Hold on to your chairs, clutch your pearls. I have almost 100 Mimi G something coats. So I've made a few. I've made a few over the years. That's why I'm like, oh, YouTube shorts, you have not met me, because I've made quite a few over the years. So I don't know if I'm going to go down that direction. I liked how my suede coat looks, so I might go suit coat. I haven't decided yet. That's why I'm sitting here and trying not to jump into something. When I put my Spans on, it reminded me that shorts are amazing too. I've made quite a few coats, so I'm trying to stop myself. But every time I find something I love, I'm instantly like, let's make that a coat. So we'll see. But this reminds me of old school picnics when this was the cliche tablecloth. I'm sure if I go through my storage unit, I could find my grandmother's extremely old tablecloth that is that pattern. I guarantee you. All right, let me clear this a little bit. I hope everyone is doing well this Saturday. I'm enjoying. Today was a beautiful day. I went out and got some sun. And then I hid in the house for the rest of the day. I was like, all right, that's enough sun. Oh, and because here in the House of Sewing, we rarely disappoint. This machine electrocuted me not once. It's the episode where Hoshi gets locked in the transporter, if anyone's wondering, and they can't see her. This is season 2, I believe. But so here we are again. I know it's a shocker. I bought another. I have those tablecloths in my closet. Exactly. I guarantee you, Mona, if I went to my mom's house right now, she would have those. I've told the story a million times. I rescued original Star Wars bed sheets and strawberry shortcake bed sheets because my mom was like, I'm going to get rid of these. I was like, I'll take those. I will take those. Thank you. The son and I don't get along. I go from shocking white to blazing red real fast. You know what? For as much as I'm sitting here flexing, I went out as early as I could, and I was only out for like an hour and a half. I went to my car, pounded my water, and came back for round 2, which oh, I washed it off. It's not that my Spanish was rusty. It's that I talked too much. And the woman who was, you get a stamp coming in and out. And I was trying to tell her, like, oh, look at all the stuff I bought. And she looked at me and she's like, I need the inside of your right wrist. And so I put my hand out like this. And she's like, hombre, are your ears broken? And it made me laugh. And she's like, no, they're not. I had a great time today. But the sun, and the funny thing is, the Weather Channel, whoever runs the iPhone weather, they're lying. They said it was going to be 70 something at like 8 o'clock in the morning. It was already in the 80s because they have thermometers everywhere because they want you to be safe. They're smart. They want you to be safe. So there's thermometers everywhere. So you know exactly what the temperature is. You're gonna see in my YouTube short, I walked away from this. I completely walked away from this machine because every time I go to the swap meet and I try to buy a sewing machine, they ask some insane price, something that's not even worth dealing with. So, to my shock, I walked up and this woman is the same person who has quoted me $200, $300, and all kinds of crazy prices. I stood there for a minute, and part of me was like, man, there's no way she's gonna sell you this sewing machine for less than like $100. I looked at her and I was like, so how much? And she looked at me and she's like, $20. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a sucker for anything that's this blue or avocado green. Anything that's blue or avocado green, I jump at this. Thank you. I love it. And this is the problem. This is why I own quite a few. There's going to be a day that I line every single sewing machine that I own up, and I'm going to see like 50 avocado green, a bunch of weird hunter green, every shade of blue and powder blue you could possibly think of. But let me plug this in. I haven't threaded it yet, so we're going to thread this together once I figure it out. I'm a bit rusty. I'm looking straight into the camera and telling you the truth. I'm a bit rusty on this one, so we're going to figure this out together. So I'm not kidding you. This machine has shocked me twice. So if I jump up, hold on, let me put my shoes on. Let me put my shoes on. I've learned. In this room, I've been electrocuted, shocked. I've had a fireball shoot at me. So I've learned over the years. Put your shoes on. All right. But I think it's something in the pedal because I jostled the pedal around and it started working instantly. But I have a feeling I'm definitely going to have to rewire or rethink this machine. But like I say, it's always a good sign when you plug it in and it doesn't spark. So that's a good sign. So far, I haven't seen any problems with this machine. I've oiled it, but this thing flies. This reminds me of the other dressmaker I have. I have a standard 1960s dressmaker. It's a box. It's extremely boxy. It's James Bond. It's total 1960s. This is a 1950s dressmaker. It goes so fast that it spins itself. It spins itself to where it unwinds itself. All right. So let me move my coffee and let's thread this and see what happens. Okay. Now I just have to remember how to thread this. Do I come through this side? No. Maybe they need to rate those in miles instead of miles of thread per minute. This machine flies. And a lot of the times it's either a problem or just the way the machine is. Sometimes it is a problem if the machine's going too fast, but it's been a while. So we're gonna figure this out. But do I thread this? You know what? I'm going to trust the left-handed process and see if that's how you know. Is that how you do it? No, because that bypasses everything. Okay. Alibaba, if you're around. Gosh, it's been so long. Do I go left? Do I go left or right? Is that the first? Man, it is hot in here. You know, I absolutely love wearing vests, but they are not necessarily summer friendly, and I am not that hardcore. Oh, there is something I'm missing. Okay, so I'll figure that out in a second. It has been a while. Oh, there was also something else that I purchased from the swap meet that I almost forgot about. So when I saw this, my first thought was 1950s, 60s hockey. That was my first thought. But then I put it on in the car and I was like, oh, this is Jason Voorhees. This is a real hockey mask. And I got this only for a couple bucks. You know, this is a real hockey rated mask. You can see all the places where it's been chipped with a puck. This is old school. This is absolutely authentic and old school. And I got it for $2. I'm obsessed with hockey. You know what's so sad? I'm so obsessed with hockey that I was watching the draft yesterday. You know, I was watching the draft and I was like, you know, I need to get another hobby on top of my hobby because I am obsessed with hockey. But I love this mask. So I'm ready for hockey season. I am ready. Oh, you rarely see stuff like this anymore. You rarely see stuff like this because we care about people and the technology has completely changed. Back then, they were like, all right, they need to cover their face. So that's literally what they did. But, you know, you never see anything like this. And this was actually made for playing hockey. So, score. I can't believe I forgot about that. I wonder if I can drive around with that. Do you know, pre-pandemic in Los Angeles County, it was illegal to walk in anywhere with your face covered. Anywhere. So where I'm from, it was weird being in the bank with my mask on and my cowboy hat. I felt like the Lone Ranger in there. It was strange. I'm gonna drive around with my. You know what's funny? I don't want to be that guy. I want to drive around with my hockey mask on, but I don't want to be that guy that gets pulled over and then I am instead of being infamous is not what you think it is. People are always like, "There's no difference between being famous and infamous." Yes, there is. Yes, there is. I wonder if that's legal. Can I drive around? Alexa, is it legal to drive around with a hockey mask in Los Angeles County?
According to the Associated Press, masks are required at gyms, non-essential businesses, parks and beaches, places of worship,
Alexa,
restaurants.
thank you.
You're so welcome. Your kindness really gives me a charge.
Answered
Hope you're
nothing.
enjoying your weekend.
Thank you. Answered nothing. Answered nothing. All right. Do you know what's funny? I just need to take a deep breath because I know how to thread this, but it's been a long time since I've threaded a front sewing machine. Okay, do I go this way? through here. I feel like the Benny Hinn music should be playing right now. But na 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 na. Oh, okay. So we'll figure that out later because it's tacky to watch a how-to video on your own live stream. But needless to say, this machine fires at 100 miles an hour. Like I said, I have another dressmaker, and I constantly talk about how I got kicked out of a group because I have stickers on a lot of my sewing machines. I have stickers on a 301A and all kinds of sewing machines. And I will never forget. I put a picture of a 1960s dressmaker, and it has all kinds of stickers on it. And someone called it an abomination. Look, I'm really into sewing machines like the next person. These things are cool because they work without the light. I love these old school sewing machines. Like I said, these look like Romulan warbirds. I love the look. The blue is absolutely perfect. I feel like my camera is not doing this justice. People always complain about iPhones. I feel like my camera is not. Oh no, I have stickers on my machine. It's been years. I'm still blocked. I check all the time. I'm still blocked. And they didn't just block me from one group because I was in like, anything that said vintage sewing machine, because I would show up and like, oh, I'm going to drop 70 pictures of all different sewing machines because I have all the pictures saved in my phone of all the progression over the years. And for me, it's a good time capsule too. They were not impressed when they saw the stickers with the sewing machines with stickers on it. But that's people who are purists. I didn't know that there was a whole world of people who collected sewing machines but didn't sew. I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding you. I have stickers on my Juki and my brother. The long arm doesn't yet. Nothing wrong with it. Thank you. And welcome. Welcome, GG Quilts. Welcome. Welcome. You know what's funny? It's been years and I'm still talking about it, so I'm not over it. I think it's because I checked the other day and I'm still blocked in like 4 groups, and they told me putting stickers on on sewing machines are an abomination. But I have behind me are nothing but antiques. Like I have sewing machines, not like Alibaba, but mine are from like I have one from like 1901, but they're basically from like 1901 and up. I have a standard. Actually, it's in the closet. That's from 18 something, but that whole sewing machine is in dispute. Yay! Hello, hello. Hey, Mona. Awesome, awesome. So I completely scored today. Today was I'm definitely gonna call this a victory. This year I have collected quite a few sewing machines, and every time I say that I'm not going to, I buy another sewing machine. So I'm just gonna say until next time. With my diabolical laugh. Yay! I haven't decided what I'm gonna make tonight, but I have my picnic pattern and my hockey mask, so we'll see where it goes. I purchased a ton of lining with full intentions of making something with my picnic pattern, but then I came out here like 45 minutes before the stream, and I was like, it is still hot. It's still extremely hot out here, but I live in the high desert, so that's what happened. Yay! It felt good to be outside, buy fabric that I didn't need, but it felt good, as I look at my giant pile of fabric. I have an old school cart I'm from that era where the teacher would come with the VCR on the cart. And I have one of those really old school carts, and there's at least 7 feet of fabric on it. And I have rolls behind me. I have like manufacturer rolls behind me from downtown LA. So every time I go and buy more fabric, I'm like, well, I'm going to make something out of this. I'm good. I'm ready for a few days off this week. I have got to get that pixel quilt quilted this week while off. Awesome. Awesome. You know, I was thinking about that too. I jump into projects and I skip a lot of steps because I expect to finish everything that night. And even with my picnic coat, I think I'm going to be a little more detailed on it. You know what? Let me put this away. Let me pull out. I can't believe I'm going to say this. So last week, my sewing machine that I've been using, it started having some major problems. And I pulled my backup machine out and it worked. I don't know why. There's a huge point of contention with the Singer Heavy Duty. I know it's not a heavy duty sewing machine, but it's been working so far. And I think it's because I've watched hundreds of videos of people talk about how much they absolutely hate that sewing machine. It's intriguing to me. There in the sewing machine world, there's quite a few machines that people are like, man, if you ever see a touch and sew, stay away from it. And as Emperor Touch and Sew, there are certain machines that I like. So I try to test them out myself. And this machine actually has been working. I'm hand stitching hexes. Awesome. Awesome. Oh. I think it's because I drove my Husqvarna Viking and my Baby Lock into the ground. I'm just shocked that this Singer Heavy Duty can hold up, and the speed of it is actually kind of shocking. Yay, Alibaba! All right, Alibaba, I'm gonna pull the machine out again because you're here. I'm sure the people who watch this in the future are like, okay, Alibaba's here. We're gonna talk about the sewing machine again. Oh. Oh. I purchased this not so precious machine. I heard you shocking twice since I got here. I think that's another reason why I'm not so jumpy to thread this, is because this thing bit me. This thing bit me earlier. It's been a while since I've been electrocuted or shocked, and I jumped. You know, I have rules. Thank you so much, Gigi Quilts. Thank you so much. I know. It's the blue and the white just look amazing together. I have, as we all know, these are Japanese clones. I have I'm looking for a Bel Air that's almost identical. That is almost identical to this machine, but it's black. And this is beautiful. I am biased towards the black machines, but I collect any kind of old school Singer sewing machine. I love the Cameo two-tone. Absolutely. Absolutely. It works, but I constantly talk about refurbishing sewing machines and the things that I do. I caution anyone, if you see a cord that's this janky, I respect people that watch my streams. I respect anyone who collects sewing machines. Absolutely. And I always caution people because I have been, like I said, I've been electrocuted. My white rotary, somebody put it in a fault. It was a fake cabinet. The machine was real, but they just put frayed cords on there, and I plugged it in and it shot a fireball. Good times. So let's plug this in. Like I always say, if it's not a spark, it's a good sign. And to anyone tuning in, this is not deja vu, but Alibaba's here. And Alibaba is our resident Darth Manual. And yes, I stole that from Phoenix Electra. It's a great title. And everybody, Phoenix Electra is working hard at Phoenix Electra Circus. Everybody should go check her out. She streams on YouTube and Rumble every Saturday and Sunday. So please go check out Phoenix Electra. Yay! Hello, everybody! Yay! So I scored today at the SWAT meet, and like I said earlier, the person who usually the reason why anytime I see a sewing machine from this vendor, I walk past her, because she one time I walked up to a touch and sew, and for anyone who knows me, I own way too many. I own almost every series they put out in every color. It's a thing. But she wanted $200 or $300, and I think it was the look in my eye. She saw the how much is that puppy in the window look in my eye. I think that's really what it was. So when I walked up today and she told me $20, I was like, shoo. I had it ready before she even finished her sentence. Like, bam, because I think it's because times are hard, but also I'm the only person buying sewing machines. I guarantee you they all get together and they're like, this guy has purchased probably every sewing machine if it's in a reasonable price. But light works. Oh, kind of. You have to angle it. I always say, if the light works, that's a good sign. But that's a sign that the electricity is kind of off, because I had to turn it a few times. And I noticed a few people have tuned in to see if I get electrocuted live on YouTube. Let's find out. This thing is an absolute beast. If you hear it, this thing is going at 1,000,000 miles an hour. It goes so fast, it unwinds itself to the point where it goes to the bobbin winder function. I had to laugh. The motor is off. The motor is completely off. But the woman who I bought this from said it completely works. Everything works. And I was like, you know what? Sounds like a 1 amp motor. This thing flies. And I had to laugh because as someone who has repurposed many of sewing machines, put back many sewing machines, the motor is off. But as somebody who had the eye, I've done things like this before. If you see how crooked the motor is, they angled it perfect. I've done that. Somebody went behind who, I always wonder who had these machines before, because whoever had this machine before kind of knew what they were doing enough to get the machine going, because it's at an on angle, but it's enough for for it to catch, for the band to catch. And it's really interesting because I've done this quite a few times. See, I'm touching it and it's moving. I've done that quite a few times on a few sewing machines. The wheel needs to be oiled. I gave it a light oiling because it was going so fast already. Oh, good times. But this is just something to definitely keep an eye out. It doesn't mean that it necessarily doesn't work. It just means that somebody who's over enthusiastic, such as myself, put their hands on the sewing machine. I have at least 4 or 5 singers where I've angled a Kenmore motor and it works perfect. Somewhere around here is a Kenmore motor that I float around to all of my vintage machines because it fits the Singer machines perfect. Well, give or take. But I had to laugh when I saw the motor because I recognized a fellow engineer. Because when you take apart sewing machines, sometimes you have to compromise. Just like anything. It's not a car. I'm not flying a plane. It's a sewing machine. And with these more vintage machines, they're pretty much all at the same principle. They're just built a little bit different. So if you have a proper bracket, you could put almost any old school motor on any machine. Sometimes I feel like they were built that way. They were after a certain year. I thought it is in the angle. Thank you. I recognized a fellow genius when I saw that. Well, I don't know if I ordered anything. I'm like thinking if I ordered anything. I see the Amazon truck and I get quiet. I'm like, did Santa deliver anything to my house? Oh, what a world we live in. What a world. All right. So I'm going to clean this up. This is a beautiful machine. I can tell that this was used, but this isn't as hardcore as some machines that I've seen lately. But like I said, this has been refurbished because look how crooked. I'm trying not to shock myself. If I've already been burnt twice from this, so I already have 2 strikes. And I'm not trying to go for my 3rd strike with this machine. I need to start taping myself because this is the 2nd time that I almost got electrocuted and I wasn't taping it. The first time I thought I was, but I didn't hit record. I jumped like an alley cat when this thing shocked me. I was out of my chair in full stance, like, okay, that happened. While Phoenix was live streaming. And then I was like, okay, I know what the problem is. And I grabbed this and I grabbed the cord and it bit me. It bit me hard. But, adventures in sewing. Adventures in sewing. This thing is pulling some serious amps. I think that's what it is with anything. With anything that is older than you are, just be careful when you plug it in. And I have gray hairs. Speaking of which, I found a gray arm hair where it shouldn't be. It's more silver because it's shiny. But you know what? I'm here to embrace my inner Papa Smurf. I'm going gray and I'm going to rock it. I'm okay with it. I'm going to accept my cat daddy status and just roll with it. Even today, someone asked me if I was going to color my beard, and I said, no, I'm going to rock the gray. And it's going full white. So I'm turning into Papa Smurf early. Real early. Oh. All right. So let me clean up a little bit. Move all of this around. And of course, Alibaba, you will laugh at this. You will laugh. I have a full Papa Smurf beard right now. Mona laughed when she saw this. Like I said, where I live, people play ice hockey all the time, but it's all modern gear. You never see old school gear. This is a real hockey mask. This is a real old school hockey mask. I scored. Everybody thinks Jason Voorhees. I instantly think Esposito from the old school Blackhawks. Instantly. I love this thing. It looks 19 exactly. When I saw this and I got this for a couple bucks or like $1, I can't even remember because the guy said $2. I gave him a $5. He gave me back $4, and I'm an extremely honest person to a default. And I told him, I'm like, hey, bro, you said $2, and he's like, oh, don't worry about it. So I basically got this for $1. Jason Esposito, I love that. I love that. But this, you can tell this thing's been chipped a million times. Are you gonna be the next Mad Max movie? It's so hot they could film it. They could film it by my house. It is so hot. They could film. We'll just call it Mad Max California. I already feel like that when I get on the highway half of the time around here. And that's the one thing I love about driving around early in the morning. There's no one on the road. People in Los Angeles do not move until noon. It is the funniest thing. When I'm driving around at 7:30 in the morning on the freeway, there is no one there. No one. It's the swap meet. It's not far from my house, but it takes a minute on the freeway, and it's always because of traffic. In the morning, I'm there. It's like boop, boop, and I'm there. But anytime past that, it is wall-to-wall traffic. Oh. I haven't decided what I'm going to make with these oopsies, but I'm thinking full outfit. Full, or like something. I don't know. I just want to make a nightcap. All right, let me grab my table. Perfect. You know what's so funny? I always reach this impasse of I don't know what to make because I've made so much. The second I put my Spans on, it reminded me of how much. Oh, what's wrong one? I loved making Spans. I have quite a few pair as well. Wrong camera. That camera is gonna completely jump out. But I forgot about my Spans. I call them Spans. They're just extremely long shorts. So I call them short pants. But I love these things, and they're perfect for when it's, over 100. But I just I don't know. I really like that picnic pattern, so I'm probably going to make something that's more of a top because I'm more likely to wear that during the winter. Because shorts are extremely seasonal because it does get cold to me. It gets cold here to me. Oh, and I also bought Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson for $1 at the swap meet. I completely forgot about that. I'm not kidding, and told you before, you should try to get those in an outlet. I love my Spans. I made quite a few pairs too. That's why I keep on saying it. Patent pending, patent pending. That's why I keep on saying Spans over and over. And it's not even that I invented them. It's just something that I revived. I don't even know. I'm on the long line of people who make Spans. Oh. Oh, let's see. What else? Oh my gosh. So, the world has changed so much. The world has changed so much. I had to laugh. Guys, don't have anything new for the summer. It's true though. It's true. It is true. So I'm part of, I bought a ring. I have one in my house, which I have it like by my back door, but I have one, I have the actual ring that the actual doorbell. So I'm part of the network. There is an actual real cougar on the loose in my neighborhood, a real one, like a real 210-pound cat. How desensitized have we become as a society? I knew I shouldn't have clicked on it because I knew what was going to happen. I clicked on the ring thing, and there were like 20 kids. And the joke was funny at first, but after I saw it the 15th time, I was like, this is not funny. Everybody. So I go on there and I'm like, okay, here we go. And the first comment was, sorry, I'll go get my mom. There is a wild animal on the loose. People are locked in their houses and these kids are making cougar jokes. It is not funny. There is a wild animal roaming around my neighborhood somewhere. And these kids need to get off the internet. Oh, it made me laugh. Oh, it made me laugh. People aren't even serious anymore. And the funny thing is, when I saw the alert and they said what park it was, I was like, oh man, that's right by my house. And I just threw a bunch of like bird food out and all kinds of stuff because I'm at one with nature. So if you hear like an actual cougar roar, I'm gonna run in my house. No, I'm kidding. The door's closed. Funny thing is, people had pictures of it. No one's taking it serious. No one. And I'm like, that's how you get mauled. If you want to wonder how you get mauled, that's how you get mauled. Not taking something that's serious. Oh. Has it been shown on 20 ring cams? Yes. And that's another thing. Ring will not, once you get a ring, you're signing away your autonomy because it says it has the right to show anything that it deems worthy for its network. So half the time, I don't even know if it's that person doing the alert or if it's the ring. Hey, Ty, how's it going? Great to see you. Great to see you. I have a link's trying to be friendly with me now. These people are making jokes about a cougar. I locked every door in my I closed my back door. And my backyard is my happy place. I locked up like it was winter. I shut my back door. There is the magical stick on every window in my house. Predators love me. Herbivores try to knock me off. Great to see you, Ty. I absolutely love your avatar. Absolutely love it. Great to see you. Great to see you. So these people are cracking jokes and I'm locking up my house. You know why? It's because I've seen these 200 something pound cats. I have a healthy fear of nature. And it's not rare to have mountain lions and cougars roaming around at all in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually surprised there hasn't been more, but we really didn't get water up until about a year and a half ago. All the creeks around here are dry. We really didn't get water until we got the El Nino. So we really don't have animals like we used to. But nobody takes anything serious, and those are the people. They're gonna complain when the mountain lion puts a paw on their car or something. Oh, water means more mice and rodents, and that brings in the big cats. Exactly. They really don't come around us unless they're really hungry, and that's the problem. And to be real, where I live, you are very, very, very welcome. Where I live, and I'm not even saying this to be a hippie, we have encroached on their land. It's not the other way around. Like where I'm from, it used to be a small town. We have spread out. It's not even gentrification. They've planned this for years. There's houses everywhere where I live. So just in my neighborhood, we have raccoons, skunks, squirrels, every kind of ornery bird you can possibly think of. Just because their habitat's gone doesn't mean they're not going to deal with the one that they have right in front of them. All right, so let's see if this has the good fold on it or not, or if I'm going to have to do this. My son, if he saw me fold fabric by myself, he would be like, I'm never going to help you again. All right. Oh, it doesn't, but that's okay. This is a solid 5 yards. And I had to laugh because she's like, what are we dressing like today? And I said, a picnic basket, picnic table, please. Oh. Okay, that did not work. Oh, that did not work. Perfect. Oh. So how's everybody doing this evening? What's everyone working on? What are you guys doing? Oh, one of my lovely patches arrived. I have always loved this type of fabric. In blue too, even smaller squares. Do you know what's really funny? I know a place where they have it for you. I think it's because I watched too much Yogi Bear as a kid. But, I love oddball stuff. I love a challenge. So it's been a while. And since I've worked with something like this, I have a lining picked out, and I'm not going to use a serger. So this one's definitely going to be a challenge. So I have an Amazon habit. I'm sure, like everybody else, I have an extensive Amazon habit. And I order things sometimes, and I forget that I ordered them. This came, and I was like, oh, I was in a weird place when I ordered it. I'm gonna rock that. Considering I do live off of coffee, that is a great patch. But I have to stop hitting those bargain patches because Amazon knows me now. And so I'll get this email of like, hey, there's a sale. And I'm like, yeah. And then I go on and I'm like, oh, there really is a sale. The fabric is UV shattering. You need to put that on like a name tag on a shirt. So, Cal State OSHA has a law where you have to wear a t-shirt with your name on it. I have a ton of work shirts. I know it's not a shocker to anybody. I love collecting work shirts. I have every name you could possibly think of. Every name. From ones where people are like, your name is not Gerald. And I'll be like, challenge me. That's what my name tag says. Especially when it's like Rogelio or some crazy name. Someone will be like, your name is not Rogelio. And I'll be like, that's what the shirt says. Challenge me. But one time we had like a real mega inspection, and I was wearing a shirt that didn't have my name on it, and the inspector got me for it. So now I went out and bought every shirt that says William or Bill on it. I don't even like being called Bill, but if I can rock it, I'll rock it. All right. All right. So I will wait on threading on. Well, never mind. I should thread this machine. Do you know what? I'm just shocked that this thing actually works. I think it's because I watched a million hate videos on this machine. I didn't think it was gonna work, and it's better than I thought so far. You need to order a billion. A billion? I was mad because I have I have a Woody name tag. I have a Buzz name tag. There's a guy I used to go to at the swap meet by my house that is now closed, and he had a huge stand, a huge stand. And now now I have a bunch of shirts with crazy names on it. Let me see what else. What else? I put in my notes, Alexa is terrible at Spanish. I can't remember what I asked her, but I was like, that's not what that means. I think I asked the spelling or something, and then she gave me the spelling, and then it was the meaning, and I'm like, that's not what that means. Oh my. Okay. So I love my mother. I absolutely love my mother. But she's been driving me crazy lately because she broke her foot and we've been hanging out a lot. And so today I was like, no, we are coming with tasks. We're going to hang out. So today we watched old school Batman. I mean, Adam West Batman. We watched a marathon of it, and she made meatloaf. And for anyone keeping score, we are now entering the food portion of the My So-Called live stream. I'd like to thank everybody. We lasted 1 hour and 11 minutes. That's why I'm sitting here not talking about food, because my mom came over and made meatloaf, and it was amazing. So for anyone who doesn't know, my mother recently broke her foot, and she recently broke her foot, and so she's been hanging out, and she refuses to wear her boot. So her foot will be broken for a while. I was a big yippee because I'm just now remembering I have meatloaf sitting in my house. I'm gonna make a sandwich this big after this stream. Is that the meatloaf with the Heinz 57 on top? I'm on the side guy, but yes. Yes, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. But we watched the old school Batman, and it's really strange. And I tell people to not do this all the time because it ruins everything. When you take something in modern context and put it in everyday filters, you're like, this is weird. So I kept on telling myself, like, stop critiquing this, just watch it. It's a show. But the old Adam West Batman was crazy. Like, they would literally be fighting, biff, bam, boom, then they start dancing. Then they would literally just start dancing. And Batman was doing a couple of these and a whole bunch of these. By modern day standards, old school Batman, she really needs to wear the boot. Oh, it's driving me insane, Alibaba. It's driving me because she's going to have a broken foot for a very long time. Very long time. I'm sitting there and, and I'm walking around doing laundry, just doing everything that you should do when you live in a house. I'm doing all kinds of stuff, cleaning my son's room. I clean his sheets and everything. Every weekend when he goes to his mom's house, I go in there with a hazmat suit and rip everything down and put it back up. But old school Batman was kind of, I don't even want to say it. She might not be able to walk around well after she does it. Oh, it's driving me crazy, actually. She's stubborn. But you know what though? So am I. That is honestly one of the best attributes. Something I like about myself is I don't give up. But being stubborn is also ugly when you have a broken foot and you refuse to wear a boot. Oh, absolutely, Mona. Absolutely. Old school Batman was weird. And I mean, we watched it. There's a channel. We have all, we have all kinds of me TVs and all kinds of that. But there's a channel. It's a semi-local one, and every weekend they'll have either an old school Doctor Who, Batman, the George Reeves Superman, something in that realm. And this weekend it was Batman. And she means the old school cast. I told her that's what's gonna happen. She will understand that. And you know what the funny thing is, when I was younger, my mom was no nonsense. She was the definition of a straight-laced human being. My mom was the definition of no joke. So to watch her act like a stubborn child and not put on a boot because a doctor told her to is actually kind of funny. The boot doesn't make a lick of sense to older folks. I don't know what it is. I think she thinks because she can walk on it, it's okay. But you're just re-injuring it every time you step on it, really. That's okay. That's okay. While she's home, I have all kinds. She makes this amazing chicken and rice. I have a whole list of stuff. Because she's starting to drive me crazy. In hockey, there's this thing called being chippy. It's when you're going down the ice and you're hitting people with your stick because you're bored. And so my mom will start nitpicking me, and I'm like, don't get chippy. And she knows. And I think what's happening is she's bored because she's trapped in the house because she has a broken foot. And I don't blame her, So I told her to come hang out today and make some meatloaf. Do you know what's really funny? She's gonna have a broken foot way longer than she's supposed to, and I'm just gonna be rolling around like a Oompa Loompa because my mom can cook, but she works really hard, so she doesn't cook like she used to. Oh. I see it over and over. I think also it's because my mom's a real life baby boomer. So she has that old school, like, oh, I just need Moxie. She has that old school. My grandmother was like that. My grandmother, we called her Zsa Zsa Gabor, but she was very Depression era. She saved everything. She threw nothing away. I'm not kidding you. Even in her backyard, she taught me how to feed birds. She was the bird lady. She would put all of her scraps out there, and she'd have it was like San Juan Capistrano in my grandmother's backyard. She was an old school recycler. Man, they don't make people like that anymore. All right, let me get a scrap test piece. Let me test this out. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Saturday evening. Today was crazy getting that sewing machine. This is probably too thick for a test piece. I've had a lot of coffee. I had to drink a ton of coffee because the meatloaf was putting me down. Oh, this thing is a beast. Okay. Perfect. But like I said, if she doesn't want to heal, I have all kinds of amazing things there's all kinds of things that she makes. I'm gonna go get all kinds of fish and all kinds of stuff. Let's see, is there anything exciting today? Got called. Oh yeah, she called me all right. Today, if anyone is wondering, today is National Waffle Day. It's San Francisco's birthday. It's National Guy Day. You know, it always makes me laugh when people campaign for these days and they actually become days. After hearing the Get More, the singer does have a nice range of speed. It's amazing. It reminds me of my Husqvarna Viking. I'm using the same power cord. Hi, guy. I know it means something different in Canada than it does in America. National Camera Day. I have quite a few of those. This made me laugh. It's National Bacon Burnt End Day. Don't even know what it means. Like bacon. Hey, I'm there. Midsummer Day. Oh, it's International Mud Day. Do you know what's really funny? You'll never catch me in a mud run. You'll never catch me in anything like that. Oh, it's International Fisherman Day and International Day of the Tropics as well. So if you celebrate it, happy everything. Oh, burn beans. Yikes. You know, I told you, I love an English breakfast, everything except for the beans. I will go off on an English breakfast. I'm just not down for beans at 5 o'clock in the morning. I'll eat a heavy breakfast. I'm just not down for beans like that. Burnt bacon ends or brisket ends and beans. Oh. You're making me want to cook a brisket. I actually have all kinds of crazy recipes. Someone I absolutely respect. I thought he was insane. He put like Sprite, all this crazy stuff on a brisket. It was amazing. It was one of the best briskets I ever had. And he kept on adding stuff on it for days. And I was like, that is going to be gross. And it was one of the best briskets I've ever had. It just goes to show you shouldn't be a food snob. Let's see, where is my pattern? You know, I've learned to I like trying things from other cultures, and they don't always work out. And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, you know, but how are you going to know if you don't try? Like even yesterday, we got authentic, real Chinese food, and I was tired of the same old thing. I always get sweet and sour shrimp or something in that range. So I ordered curry beef, something that I rarely order, and it was okay. You know, it was okay. I paid for it, but it was okay. What I'm trying to say is I love branching out and trying new things. Every once in a while. My brother added root beer, really good. That's what I'm saying. It's amazing when you find a recipe for something like that. You'd be surprised. I'm old school. I come from like people who standing in front of their grill and they're like, go get me another drink, boy. All right, so I'm gonna start pinning. This is the front. Have a great night, Mona. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much. Oh. You know what's so funny? One of the reasons I try not to talk about food is because I'm sitting here and I'm like, I want to go buy a brisket tomorrow and marinate that thing in as many crazy things as I can. Perfect. Have absolutely take care, Mona. Have a great night. To everyone watching, welcome to the House of Sewing. It is just another crazy day. I went to the SWAT meet. It's so funny how human beings are creatures of habit. I haven't gone in probably 2 or 3 weeks. It's probably been a month. It's been a while since I've gone. I say a month. People go like once a year, and I'm like, it's been a month and it's been a while. But when I got there, I was shocked on how many people were actually there, because when I go there in the morning, no one's there. But everybody, they were checking the weather report like I was. But I still got amazing deals. I was shocked because when there's a lot of people, they get real stingy because they're like, well, if you don't buy it, somebody else will. So I definitely had a good trip at the swap meet today. And I didn't, I went crazy, but I didn't go as crazy as normal. Because that's I think that's what my next video is going to be. I'm going to fabric shame myself. Because I cleaned do you know what's so funny? I cleaned this corner over here. I spent almost like 2 or 3 hours cleaning this corner, and it looks perfect. All the fabric, everything is lined up. I have quite a few pairs of pants that I need to work on. I have all my patterns together. Everything is where it needs to be. And then I started adding more stuff. But I pulled out all my cameras. So I'm ready. I'm ready for summer. I pulled all my cameras. I have all my equipment together. I try to put something out. A long time ago, I've said this before, I knew someone that was more concerned about the technology instead of putting videos out. So they ended up collecting a bunch of really amazing equipment and never putting out videos. And I put out videos and worry about the technology later. It just works out better that way. Because I'm passionate about what I do, and I love sharing it with everybody. Well, that was a pile of oopsies. Well, that's scraps. That's scraps and leftovers. That there's jean material in there. Like I have this weird thing. Like if I fold it square, it's a scrap. That way I know that's how I identify it, because I have so much in this room. Oh, I promise you, I will not be going all night this evening. He says as he puts on his James Brown cape. I know everybody has many options, and I thank you for watching me. I absolutely thank you for watching me. All right, so let me start cutting this out. I'm going to switch my angle. Camera. I'm really trying to stay away from that other camera. I don't know what to do. Wait till winter. It makes me laugh how that camera cannot handle the heat. And some days I'm like, oh, it can, because I was testing it out earlier, and it within 10 minutes it shorted out everything. But not everything is as advertised. Especially when you buy it on Amazon. We've had this conversation before. Sometimes I feel like I'm buying a knockoff, even though it's labeled as something that it is, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to make my picnic table. I don't know. It's been a long time since I put a hood on anything. Maybe I should make a giant hood with this. I should return to my 1990s style. Oh, perfect. Style is amazing because it's reciprocal. It makes me laugh how certain looks are coming back today. I don't believe in taking pictures of people, so I didn't take a picture of this young man, but it made me laugh because he was wearing full Jankos with straps on him, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to copy that. And then he had on a metal shirt, and I'm like, it is so funny how we've come full circle, and it has not even been 30 years. It made me laugh when I saw that today. It was away from the heat, so it cut off. I think that the material would have been good as shorts. Um, Alibaba, they gave me a good price. No worries, Ty. I want to be here for a little bit. I want to be here for a little bit. I understand life happens. It's Saturday night, you know. I'd be doing this wolfing to myself if I wasn't live streaming anyways. Should have asked if you could take a pic. It it makes me laugh because one of the thrift stores I used to always go to, it was like a hood thrift store. And when I say that, if you didn't speak Spanish, most people didn't walk in there. And then some very famous people who were on television started saying, I guess somebody said they went there. And I actually saw one of them there. And I was like, wow. It's weird when you see someone on TV and you see them in real life with no makeup on, and you're like, okay, you're just like us. They look just like everybody else, you know? Maybe he's been. Seriously, though, Ollie. Seriously. No, I told you a long time ago I could have made a product for him and got okay, a long time ago I sold a vest for $900 a long time ago. And this is not even a humble brag because this was years ago. Years and years ago. But it got my beak wet. So I know what you're saying. Like, you can make a lot of money off of clothes, especially the stuff I do. And the funny thing is, I really do not post on Facebook at all. I'm not a Facebook guy, especially with the politics and everything going on. It's just nothing but people fighting, and I'm not into that. So I pretty much stay away from Facebook. But whenever I post a picture of myself standing in this room, everybody is like, how much for the vest in the back? How much for the vest in the back? I've seen a shirt, normal shirt. Whoa. Do you know I go off about that, like about Balenciaga and all of those brands. I have a whole line of almost homeless looking denim clothes. I have all kinds, baggy. I call them my protester clothes. They're huge, all kinds of jackets because I'm denim crazy. And it made me laugh when Balenciaga became popular, and I was like, I've been dressing like that. I've been dressing homeless chic for years and years. Just the brand, but I had to laugh when they became popular because really, that's thrift store chic right there. But when I see how much they're charging for the jeans, if you give me a pair of jeans and I just wear them to work, they'll have holes with them within a month. That's why I constantly patch my jeans. That's why I buy like Walmart jeans. I always laugh because back in the day we used to call them the $7 jeans. And even when they were $9, we still called them the $7 jeans. Well, now the $7 jeans are like $12 because I've been shopping at that place for a long time. And plus, in Los Angeles, Walmart is the only place that you can buy and not get skinny jeans. And that's not even a dig. It's just I have wide hips, so I'm not trying to send that kind of message. Oh, perfect. For anyone concerned, I'm using Simplicity pattern S9 158. I feel like I haven't done this young man justice. I love this print. Look at that perfect beard on that. I want that print of that shirt. I've used this pattern a ton of times. As someone my age, my beard will never be that black, but that's okay. I love this pattern. Between this and Mimi G R11407, I've used this a ton. And one day I will recreate that entire outfit. Well, without the beard. But for real, I keep an eye out for any print that is in the realm of that. I really like that print. Let's hope. Oh, no, that's not it. Wrong camera. I'm scared to even click on that camera because it shuts everything down. And I like to show the patterns I'm using because these simplicity patterns are clutch. And right now, by my house, the Joann's is finally starting to show signs of going out of sale. So let pattern again begin. I'm not going to be crazy, and I'm not even saying this for clout or anything, but I watched Stephanie Canada, and she bought an entire estate of sale. I learned a lesson from her. As someone who basically owns like 2 or 3 estates himself, don't do it unless you have the space and the time, because Joann's right now is at the point where I could walk up and purchase. They're basically selling the cabinets and everything. I'm trying to restrain myself on Rick. I'm trying to restrain myself. But I've learned there's also another YouTuber that I watch. It's something in Brooklyn. I can't remember. But she actually bought the entire contents of 4 different cabinets from a Joann's, and she admitted to being overwhelmed. I came here to chew bubble gum and fuck up kangaroo. Hello, Greg Bryant. No kangaroos will be harmed in the taping of this live, I assure. But it was funny because I went to the Joann's and I jokingly said, like, "Hey, can I buy the cabinet?" And she was like, "How much you got?" So the fire sale has begun at the Joann's by my house. But like I said, you know what though? I've learned to not say that, because every time I've ever been like, I'm not going to do that, and then the next live stream, I'm literally sitting on the cabinet. I will like literally be sitting on the cabinet. A while ago, there was a sewing machine that I was like, it was insanely overpriced. And I watched it for over a year. I watched the price drop and drop and drop until they were almost giving it away. Patience. Awesome. How's your night going, Greg? Vonrick, great to see you. Great to see you. Because I already harmed them. Greg, you and I are going to take an expedition to Australia. I'm down. I am down. But I will tell you, if you do any, like, Australia does not play when it comes to people messing around in their country. They will boot you out. If they even deem you a threat in any way, shape, or form, they will boot you out. They've done it to famous people, not so famous people, people in their from their own country. All right, perfect. So you gotta be careful. In Australia, they do not joke around. Imagine if you're from New Zealand and you get banned from Australia, you can literally sit on the beach and look at it. Australia does not play. They ban people all the time. Oh, yay. Hello. I hope everyone's having a great night. Greg Bryant and I are trying to figure out how to get to Australia. I'm kidding. It's a straight shot from my house. I'm really into bikes and the bike culture around the world. And so that was my first dealing with the fact that Australia does not joke around. They will deport you if you even blink wrong. And a lot of Americans know this, but I guess a lot of other people probably don't know this. Canada is the same way. Canada does not mess around with Americans when it comes to living there. Try to go live in Canada. If you have as much as a parking ticket, you're going to go under review. Like Canada does not play. They do not want you. Australia has borders. We gotta have to bring the. We're gonna have to bring the Roo here. That is what's that movie? What is that movie? Oh, the Las Vegas movie. I can't remember. That sounds like a bad movie. In New Zealand too, they do not play. They do not play around. And the only reason I know this is because I've read their bylaws and I watch their television too. They kick people out all the time. You can't even buy land in New Zealand unless you're from there. Do you know? I was reading something. There's an act, or there's a reason why, though. There's a reason why. One of the days was named after this guy. And as an American, I should know history beyond my own country, and I already forgot. But there's a whole reason why. I've said this a ton. I know a bunch of people that have tried to move to Canada and were not eligible at all. So they all moved to Texas. We're the only first world country without border enforcement. Well, I'll push back on that a little bit. We do. There it's there. I don't want to be too much of a shill, but it exists. But yeah, Canada, if you like, I'm not playing you. I'm not. I like if you, especially if you have a felony and you try to get in their country more than twice, they will put you in prison. I think it's 40 years. I have to read the paper. I have all the paperwork of how to like immigrate to different countries. Greg, all of Europe has no border enforcement. Touche. It also depends on where you live and what you're talking about. Because I'll tell you, when I lived in Oregon, it made me laugh. I worked at a Carl's Jr. It's a no secret. This was 21 years ago. 21 years ago in good old Portland, Oregon. We would get Canadian change so much that my boss was like, you guys really have to start looking at coins. So there were a ton of Canadians in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, good times, great time. In a lot of ways, I miss the Pacific Northwest, but it's not what the place I used to live. It's changed. If you can get in one, you can go anywhere except Poland. Poland has no respect for the EU. Step one, say the word asylum. There is no step two. And also, it's socioeconomic. Like if you have a certain amount of money, they'll let you move to any country. If you have a certain amount in your bank account, this is so sad. And this is true for almost every country. If you have a certain amount in your bank account, they'll let you live there. And for like in Australia, it's like if you have over $100,000 American dollars, you're on their happy list. And that's like, in savings. But it really tripped me out because before the election, I was going to move. It had nothing to do with the election. This was years ago. This was pre-plague. I was just tired of living here. Says everyone who ever moved back to their hometown. And so I investigated everything. I was going to move to Spain. I was going to move anywhere that wasn't here. And so I started applying for all these places. And it was interesting to see certain countries were like, man, do you need us to pick you up? Yay! Hello, Pam. Hello. Yay! This evening, I'm choosing to dress like a picnic basket. I have the USDA certified standard picnic basket print, and I was thinking about making the jacket, but I have hundreds of jackets. I've been cleaning up my closet. I've made over 100 jackets out of my Mimi G R11407 pattern. So I'm choosing to I'm probably gonna go old school and make a giant hoodie. I would not live in any country without the Bill of Rights. Due respect to the silver medal countries. Yay! Hi, Pam. I had to take that into consideration too. I really wanted to move to Spain, but that was romantic in me. I really wanted to move to a lot of places, but like even Australia, under further review, is a completely different culture. The UK, we can understand each other. We're all kind of speaking English, but they're different planets. An Australian, compared to someone from the UK, compared to an American, like we can communicate, but once you get around your people, we're speaking different languages, you know? Yay. Make an apron for the kitchen. You know what? I might with my leftovers. That's not a bad idea. That is not a bad idea. I might do that with all my leftovers. As Greg Bryant fills out an application so he can go kidnap a kangaroo. You could not live in the UK with the things with the things you say online. No, I couldn't. No, they've changed so much. No, they've changed so much. No, I couldn't. But also, I'm extremely forward. And for as much as I'm an Anglophile, I have an English channel where it's all old stuff for the BBC. I absolutely love the old school 1970s London culture. I couldn't live there just as much as someone who loves the American culture, loves everything about us. But they look in retrospect, they're like, I couldn't live there. You would end up in jail. I say this as someone who fully respects the crazy things you say online. I defend freedom of speech. That's what it is. I'm a defender of freedom of speech. Oh, but that's with a lot of countries. They've changed, you know. So that's why I'm here in my hometown. You know what, Pam? That was a great idea. I might make an apron up when I'm done with this. But has there been anywhere that you guys have ever wanted to live? I know Alibaba has lived all over, but I'm not kidding you. Like I wanted to live in Spain, and I looked into it, and it wouldn't have been. It's because my son didn't speak the language; he would have been lost. Australia, the culture was just too different. I'm going to say this for the record. I say it all the time. They're still asking me to live there. But is there anywhere that you guys wanted to live? When I was a kid, I had this romantic view of driving around the country. I did it once, and I will never do it again. I'll like if I had to drive to like Montana or something, that's different. But coast to coast is a trek. And it's for the adventurous, and I know that road now. Perfect. As the only country with freedom of speech, I couldn't live anywhere else. True. Well, excuse me. I want to live in Naples and work and oh wow, I also want to live in Switzerland. It's nice to live there and I like it. It looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. I'm one of those people who I'm constantly looking for stuff to fall asleep to, and I love it when people walk through those little sleepy towns. I don't know if I could live there, but I would love to visit. Or Germany again. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I know quite a few people that lived in Germany. Quite a few people. I've driven coast to coast at least 7 times. If there's any climate you want to live, America has it. Kilroy and I talk about this all the time, that the one thing about America is that you can travel in America. You can like get in your car and go discover a whole different planet. No matter where you live, go north or south. Go left or right and you will find a completely different place. Even with modern urban engineering and all neighborhoods look the same. Everyone has a Buffalo Wild Wings and a grocery store. But even with that being said, there's a lot of differences. Like the dinosaur and Pee Wee Herman, that's real. That's at Cabazon in California. On your way. Actually, it's in Palm Springs, basically. Or out of Palm Springs, which direction you're going. Oh, now I have tequila stuck in my head. Beautiful. As he throws his rotary tool. Oh. Coast to Coast, America is a beautiful place. Will Manfred, our has walked in Germany. He has really nice ones. Oh, I need something like that. I definitely need something like that because I love ASMR to fall asleep to. But what happens is I start watching it and then I don't fall asleep. Major cities are end-to-end chain restaurants. The flyovers are more spread out. I love a good greasy spoon though. I'm old school. If you give me like cheeseburger and french fries and onion rings in a shake, I'm old school. And pancakes, of course. Pancakes. That is one thing I love about my mom. She'll call me and she's like, "Hey man, let's go to the Gracie Spoon." Oh. There's a Gracie Spoon by my house, and when you order a large onion rings, they give you enough for 3 people. Ugh. I ordered half a thing of chili fries the other day, and they gave me a full tray, and they're like, "Oh, this is a half a order." And I'm like, "Man, you guys are fattening me up, so I can't run." Oh yeah, so I was watching Gen Z react to 90s songs. Every single one of them knew all the words to Say It Ain't So. Okay, so there's a little hope. There's a little hope for the future. There's a little hope. I needed to hear that. I give the younger generation no space. Oh, that's funny. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with the Doors, and it really tripped people out. Oh, this pattern is almost cooked. I need some Scotch tape. Where is the Scotch tape? Perfect. Do you know what's really funny? I some of those videos I'm like some of those videos I had to turn off. Or I told you I put on Faith No More in the car and my son was like, "Man, this is old people music." I almost crashed. One girl had a Nirvana shirt with a flannel over it and said Hole was her favorite band. You know what though? These kids do have an advantage because they have the entire catalog. So they can fall in love with somebody not knowing the history behind it. Just as I loved the Doors and I knew nothing about Jim Morrison. I think that's a good thing that people have access to that. I kind of laughed when they came out with the millionth Whitney movie and I saw a bunch of under 30s defending her online and I'm like, all right, society isn't exactly as bad as I thought it was. But it made me laugh. A bunch of people who weren't even around when Whitney Houston was around, but they were defending her. And I'm like, okay, you've heard her music. And that's the thing. Like, we paint these really bleak pictures, but they're not. It's not as bad as we think it is sometimes. Live though. Oh, Live Through This was a Nirvana album with a crappy drummer. Oh, come on. So, I have a Pat Smear story. I lived in Silver Lake, California. That place has been so gentrified, it's not even funny. Anyways, I lived in Silver Lake, California 24 years ago. No, 25 years ago. I lived in Silver Lake, California. And Flea and Pat Smear ran an MI. And they would literally just stand out in the street and feverishly smoke cigarettes. I'm not kidding you. They were the nicest people on planet Earth. You could walk up to them. I did. I was like a freaking 18, 19-year-old kid. I walked up to them and they were so good to me. And these men were famous then. And they were so nice to me. Pat Smear is actually a hero of mine. Flea will talk to you about anything. He's into basketball. He knows everything about music you could possibly think of. And I asked him about the Big Lebowski, and he talked to me about it. Whitney did enough crack to defend herself. She would fight. Hey, be careful about Whitney. I haven't heard Pat Smear's name in 10 years. Oh, that guy was like, he was so nice. He was a nice guy. Much respect to the old school rock stars. Like, they were good people. Definitely good people. Gosh, I forgot about that. It was weird to be walking to my crummy job and have a conversation with Flea. Matter of fact, that's when the Californication album was going on, and he was still just like everybody else. And the guy had nothing but hit record after hit record on the radio. And he would talk to me like, like it literally was a Tuesday. I respect people like that. Good guys. All right, let me cut this out. Yeah, Greg Bryan, I know. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in a time warp. If you're a good person, I will let the whole world know. And if you're a Lenny Kravitz, I'm going to let everyone know forever. Oh. I am going to laugh. One day when someone's like, "Hey man, don't be a Lenny. Don't pull a Lenny Kravitz. Come on." Oh. That was Nirvana's whole thing, not being famous people, like at the end of Unplugged when Kurt walked around signing autographs. I love that. They were like, still to this day, I met all kinds of people, and he's on the list of like real people. Henry Rollins from Black Flag was like that too. He liked to talk to everyone. I love hearing that. Because I I love the Liar video. I love that video. Back in the day when I was a kid, MTV, every day I've watched MTV before school. They would play that video, and I can't remember the name. Robbie Williams was in the band. Whatever it is, whatever I done, I'm sorry. I want you back. I want you back. It's so sad that I remember that, but they would play that in Henry Rollins every morning. I can't remember the name of that band though. It was a British song. They play it every morning, and I was up early. Oh. So that song will forever stick out in my head. I think that's awesome though, Alibaba. Like some of those memories I will cherish forever. Because there were certain people I met and I'm like, oh, this person is gonna be the worst person ever. And they were the nicest. Ian McKay was a doorman for the International Pop Underground. That was what 90s music was all about. I love stuff. I absolutely love that. Let me cut this out before I forget what I'm doing. That's gonna bother me now all night. I'm gonna look that up, and it's some band I can't remember, but MTV would play the same thing over and over, and I didn't care. Oh, I can't remember the name of that song. It's gonna bother me, but I'll look it up. All right. Perfect. These arms are gonna be huge. But well, let's see how they before I put Doom on this shirt, let's see what they look like. Yay! Hello, Ty. Awesome. Let me look at my notes. What else? Papa Smurf hockey mask. Walmart was a mess. Do you know? I don't know why people choose Walmart as a place to freak out, but Walmart is crazy. There you are. Square up, Rue. So, to anyone who watches this in the future, our friend Greg Bryant here, someone who is absolutely loved here in the House of Sewing, is under the illusion that he could take on a kangaroo. And I'm trying to stop him from being on the news and becoming infamous for something that he shouldn't do. And that's being mauled by a kangaroo. Everybody, it's all fun and games. It's all fun and games until you run up on a roo and you're like, why is this thing 275 and jacked? I just stepped in to challenge you, Greg. Maybe a wee Joey. Thank you. No, you couldn't even, man. Think it's all fun and games until a buff kangaroo walks in. Walmart is Waffle House before dark. It's weird to me. It's just weird to me, man. I go there for snacks. I needed barbecue sauce, ranch dressing, and Worcestershire. Worcestershire? I call it Worcestershire sauce. No illusions. I will rock a kangaroo. Also a gator. See, now I know you're playing. A gator will do a roll on you. No way. I watched a video today where people were busting out concrete and they found gators, not realizing that they hibernate. And then they thought they had one, and then another one came out and the video stopped. They cap out at 200, bro. It's you know what's so funny? I got so mad when you were Googling something the other day, but I'm about to do the same thing. What's the biggest kangaroo to ever live? Hmm. Oh, Goliath was 440 pounds. You're going to go up against a 440-pound kangaroo? I can't look at this. I can't look at this. You know, I have a natural fear of kangaroos. I can't. You got to be scared of something. I think you should have a respect for nature. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're going to go up against that 400-pound kangaroo that's apparently on Google right now waiting for you? Oh, I would. I'm going to laugh when you get caught at the local zoo. And I'm going to give an interview on CNN too. A breathy one too. Oh, you know what's so funny? I used to think that wasn't real, and then there was that one year where people were jumping in lion cages, and it happened here twice. Well, it happened in San Francisco twice. So it's all fun and games until someone takes us serious. Okay, I would not fight Goliath. That's what I'm saying. Ugh. Exactly. I had to do the math real quick. That's 440. You're not going up against something that's 440. Goliath was a freak and he died. Yay! Yay! Never. You know what? Never mind. That's mean. I shouldn't say that. But there's been many people that were genetic wonders and shined in the sun, you know. You still aren't going to run up on them. Oh, right. Anything else, like, look, I, in a weird way, almost share your confidence. Okay. When I walk around in the world, I don't walk around in fear. I'm not a timid person. Okay. I share your confidence. But in reality, I know that I am not an immovable object. So you gotta have some reality behind, you know. Like earlier when I was talking about in my neighborhood, we doing red and white pattern? Absolutely. I'm gonna dress like a picnic basket. Earlier, and it's still going on because I had to silence my other phone because it was starting to get annoying. There is a cougar, a real life over 200-pound cougar running around my neighborhood right now. It was in the park less than a half a mile by my house. It was seen in the parking lot by the grocery store by my house, which is within walking distance. I'm not going to go up against a 200-pound mountain lion. I will fight a gator on land and none of them in water. In reality, you are not going to need to find roos anytime. You're not going to find anytime soon. Very true, Alibaba. The roos are safe from Craig. And you know what? Like, I consider myself being able to take care of myself. I would never run up on something that big, ever. You got to have a healthy fear of something, Greg. Oh man, I'm gonna go to the Buffalo Reserve by my house and show how massive buffaloes are. The Gibbon farm, they're not as friendly as they used to be, but I bet I could drive up there. They love me. But like you used to be able to just drive in the parking lot, but times are hard. But you're not gonna run up on something that big. I would not fight any big cat. Oh, no worries, Ty. No worries. I'm gonna start off as the base as a shirt, but I'm probably gonna add a hoodie just because it's been a while, and that's something I love to do is make giant hoods. And I may or may not finish it this evening because I'm going 2 hours, but we're having a good time. I'm not going anywhere. It's Saturday night. Kangaroo funeral dress. Alibaba and I are trying to save you. We're trying to. I wouldn't fight a buffalo. Do you know what's so funny? There's a reserve by my house, and it's a good place to hike. So we go all the time. I am walking up the hill, and I look at those things, and I'm like, they're the size of a Cadillac with hair. Buffaloes are huge. Buffaloes are absolutely huge. As I said, I would only fight a kangaroo because they cap out. You know what? Okay, well, Google said 220. Oh, I find myself, I try to be at one with nature, not get in odd fights with it. But to each their own. All right, I need some water. Oh. Man, I just had a nightmare that the algorithm became almost illiterate because we like things like Hawk 2. You know what? My algorithm gave up on me a long time ago. Oh, water. Water is amazing. Yeah, I'm not stupid. I live around farms. I wouldn't have with a cow or a horse either. Cows are humongous too. Have you ever seen it? Well, I'm sure Greg Bryant has. A cow's eye is twice that. Cows' eyes are humongous, and they're curious. And they'll follow you around. They're like, "What is this dumb human doing?" Horses are scary huge. Do you know until and that's with most wild animals. You have this image of them in your head until you run up on one. And no fear, Rashawn. No fear. The algorithm is illiterate. Oh. On one of my many undervests, I have an old t-shirt I cut up, and it said 20 years from now. No, it said if you think things are bad now, 20 years from now, our country is going to be ran by people who were homeschooled by day drinkers. which is a sad truth. All right, I'm going to try not to overpin. I've been overpinning lately, but it still works. I like playing ball with baby cows. Most years I go to my friends to play beach ball. They run after it and bounce around. If you've ever put up a fence post or something, they stare at you. It's the strangest thing. It is the strangest thing. Cows are naturally curious animals. They're not as dumb as deer. I don't know about anywhere else, but where I live, deer are the most meddlesome. I picture deers with freaking 1980s mohawk smoking a cigarette like, all right, what car am I going to destroy today? Oh. I avoided Hawk 2 on my algo. Mine is whoever moves first is. Oh, gosh. I get caught up in these really weird. I don't even want to say. I got caught up in this video of this guy. I don't even want to say it. It's terrible. His video keeps on popping up. And then I have this other video of this guy who walks around this park in the UK and he complains about everything. And the funny thing is, I'm not kidding you. He just whines about everything, but he has hundreds of thousands of subscribers. What a world. What a world. I say that in my Wicked Witch of the West as she's melting voice because I don't get the internet. But this guy, he walks around the UK and the parks are amazing. You know, when I was a kid, I thought San Francisco, California had the most breathtaking parks in the world. Go to a place like the UK, go to a place like that. They are just amazing. But the guy is walking around and just complaining about everything. It's crazy, but that's the world we live in. You know, the algorithm is geared more towards people that are excitable and less than people like me that are just born ASMR. And I take it as where I can. But it makes me laugh. The one that still bothers me to this day, I'll watch one video. I wanted to watch one video and they changed my entire algorithm. That still bothers me to this very day. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate and cut, and I think I grabbed the wrong rotary tool. I should really label those. Yep, I really should. There's a comedian who does that, but the context is that he has a terrible stutter and he's doing it as speech therapy. You know, there's somebody for everybody. The internet is wild. I try not to invest my life in hatred because it will consume you. Thank you, Ty. Thank you. And it's more of a personal practice because I look at violence as how should I put this? It's the like violence is the descent. No, I'm sorry. Hatred is the descent into violence. So if you obsess over anything and you sit around, when you see it, you're going to act on it. You know, human beings are wired that way. So I try to, you know, not hype myself up, if that makes any sense at all. I already did. I put the gloves on for the Roo. Great. You know what? I'm gonna find a bodybuilder and hire him to put on a kangaroo suit. Oh, it won't be hard where I live. Everybody works out, which is obnoxious, but everybody works out where I live. Oh. Oh. Greg, you know what? I respect the fact that you are not giving up on this. You are not giving up on this. I will alert all zoos. Perfect. Perfect. My uncle at one point was girls in loose tops and roller coasters. And farmers talking about wild hogs, the tannerite. That's a word I haven't heard in a while. YouTube thinks I'm a serial killer. We Roos are ready for you. Damn right, we're ready. Oh, and also how-to video for chloroform. Your algo is going to inform the authorities. Is what it's going to do. Oh, that's funny. Mine's all over the place. Mine's music. I do type in a lot of how-to videos. I do, but it's more like how to change the oil on something. I'm not typing in chloroform like our buddy. While you take time to do descriptions, now I'm disappointed in myself for not. You know what, Rashawn? It's so funny that you would say that today, because I forgot to put a thumbnail up and I was rushing, and I told myself, I was like, bro, you write novels that no one reads. You write novels. So thank you. Thank you for reading my description. That's so funny you would say that. Cause today I had a talk with myself, like, does anybody if your tree drops in the forest, does anybody read it? Oh, those feral pigs in Texas are done. I'm on every list. I told you I was a redneck. Oh. The only list I ever got put on is for years I bought tobacco from Louisiana. And they tried to come at me for taxes, and I was like, there's really nothing they could do, you know. But I would buy tobacco for years from Louisiana in the mail. They would mail it to my house. I didn't type it in already. Absolutely. You have to never forget about the people. Like, quite honestly, Mark Short really is one of the reasons I'm here. And like, I'm telling you, a couple of years ago, like, I truly was canceled from a group of punks. And like, I turned on my computer and I was like, no one's gonna watch, man. No one's gonna watch. This is dumb. And Mark Short and Butterfly popped up, and I was like, oh, there's people here. So, you know, when he died, it really gutted me. It gutted me. And quite honestly, sometimes when I think about it, like, because, you know, it's weird. It's really weird. When you meet somebody online, you don't realize anything, how important someone is until they're not around anymore. Mark Short, like, when I was growing my tomatoes with non-tomatoes, he sent me like detailed instructions on how to take care of my soil. It worked. Everything that I talk about Australia came from Mark Short. He was the first person, like, nobody would talk about the house elves with me, and I get it. But he was the first person from Australia to talk about the house elves with me. So, you know, you got to remember the people who were there for you. You know, he was there for me when nobody cared. Him and Butterfly and Kilroy and Alibaba. So I try not to forget people. And quite honestly, when I'm gone, I expect wailing. I expect a month or two of mourning armbands. An eternal flame. Actually, just always keep a sewing machine ready. People become valuable to you on the slide. Absolutely. And it's important, and it's okay. It's okay to make friends online, you know. It's okay. And in life, you know, people pass away. Life is an amazing teacher if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention, life is an amazing teacher. Well, just say you all know when I go out, I'm determined to make it a good story. Like my pops who got pulled over with the oxygen tank, didn't say anything, and then I got my car towed. He was, man. Yeah, he went out laughing. I'm okay with going out a death match with a kangaroo. I'm gonna go find Goliath's cousin. Oh, all right. So we got that line. Let's keep going. I have completely destroyed these patterns over the years. I will keep going to the Goodwill until I can buy. I will keep going to the Goodwill until I can buy one for $10.20 an hour in memoriam. Absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, just play with it a little bit while you're at the Goodwill. And at the Goodwill by my house, I don't know about anywhere else, you can plug stuff in. And even the last machine I purchased at the Goodwill, which was last weekend, I'm acting like it was a year ago. I plugged that thing in and I was like, oh, they have power here. And that thing worked immediately. Absolutely. Absolutely. I was thinking about mausoleum. Kidding. I'm kidding. Do you know what's so funny? My pops he had more stuff than the Maharaji. And right before he passed away, I was freaking out about something. And he looked at me about something of his stuff. And he looked at me and he was like, you know what? It's your problem. I won't be around to deal with it. And it dawned on me that he didn't care at that point. So, it's one thing to have a million things, but eventually one day you're gonna give it up to somebody. If a 400-pound kangaroo squares up, I'm not walking away from that one. But neither one is that crack deer. Greg, I feel like you need a full intervention with letters about how you fighting a kangaroo is going to hurt all of our feelings when you get mauled by one. I really feel like we need to have a full intervention about this. I'm going to call the show. And thank you, Rashawn, for your respectful. Rashawn's being all respectful over here, and Greg Bryant is trying to find out. You say, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. I've seen a gorilla face to face without a cage. Okay, you can feel the strength in the power in the animal, because when there's no cage, you're like, this thing could walk up to me and just go boop. Yeah. I feel like we need the full show with the couch and everything. Greg, you fighting a kangaroo is completely unfeasible, and you are hurting my feelings. Oh, they get me with that on intervention when they start talking about there. Let him go. He wants to smoke. Absolutely. Oh, it is break time. That reminds me. You know what, though, Greg? You said I couldn't. That's all it takes. I'm like that, too, though. Determined. I was talking about today about my mom, about how stubborn she is. And for anyone keeping score, I said it earlier, she still refuses to put the boot on. And she's been hanging out, tearing my life apart. I'm a male sapien. I always want to smoke with wild animals. Not primates or large cats. I'm telling you, it's all fun and games until you're face to face with Harambe. And Harambe laughs at you. If Greg goes first, I'm going to see kangaroos and tell them I don't want any smoke. I don't want your kind to stop with. I just want your kind to stop with Greg. The last words I ever hear will be, do it, pussy, you want. Hey, we warn people like around here, like, do not challenge people. Do not challenge people. You never know that one person. That's like that You know, The Simpsons taught my generation such life lessons, and no one paid attention. Like when Homer was going around trying to duel people, and then he found the one guy who actually did want to duel him, and he moved. It's all fun and games until you actually meet the guy who wants to duel. There has to be a law against that. At least in America, you are not allowed to fight animals like that. Do you know, I used to watch a lot of Canadian television, a ton. I mean, a lot. I got into all different types of shows. I love Canadian television. And a long time ago, I was watching an interview with Mike Tyson, and he admitted that because the guy asked him, he's like, "Hey, Mike, how come you don't own exotic pets?" He said, "Do not ever own anything that can beat you up." He owned a black panther, and it tried to drag him in the cage. And he said, if I wasn't Mike Tyson, I wouldn't have got out of it. Basically, because he was physically fit and he was Mike Tyson, he punched his own Black Panther. And he said after the Black Panther mauled him, he got rid of it that day. So it's all fun and games until you get around something that can drag you. And that's Mike Tyson when he was still in his prime, when he owned exotic animals. Like it wasn't like Mike Tyson now, you know. Be great, great Brian, and keep playing with the wild. I'll be your number one commentator. I'm telling you. I am telling you. It's all fun and games until you get dragged in the pin by the Black Panther. I start fires with kerosene and magnesium. I'm not afraid of an animal. Oh, true. That happened to me in high school. Got tired of being talked about. Started going after the dudes that always had something to say. First I ran. Third was like, we gonna have to fight. For real. There's always that one person who's like, okay. Oh, man. Oh. It's so true. You gotta be careful who you run up on, man, especially kangaroos. One of the reasons that I'm laughing so hard is because I'm telling you, I really do not fear much. And I have this extremely weird fear of kangaroos. I don't even know what it is. I used to go to the zoo every year with my son, and I would look at the LA kangaroos, and I'm like, yeah, you guys work out all day long. They're just hopping around working out. I don't mess with big cats or primates. I know. I'm telling you, Greg, right now, there is a 200-something pound cougar running around my neighborhood. Everyone's taking pictures of it. So it's not like it's like someone saw it once and it ran in the hills. It's in the neighborhood somewhere. And I'm looking on my camera, all the neighbors who have their garage doors. Oh, sorry. There was a shadow at my front porch. I'm like, is there someone at my door? All the neighbors who usually have their garage open, me included, they're all closed. Because there's no way I'm going to let a cougar run up in my house. But to be fair, if a cougar ran in here, I would at least let the live go. I would keep the live going as I ran out screaming in horror. I'm kidding. I know how to deter a cougar. I just see my credit score. I'm kidding. We have cougars. They don't last long. They can't breed like coyotes. We have generations of cougars, mountain lions, lynx, all kinds of desert animals here. All kinds. So much that to the point we have signs on the highway to leave them alone. Like on the highway, it says you will be fined if you touch these things. Last time I went to Mexico Resort, they told me not to feed the animal. They don't play. They do not play. Because then they'll keep coming back. That's like even when I was feeding the stray cats, and I still feed stray cats, but every time If I leave food out overnight, every time I turn on my light, it's a different animal out there. Every time. That's how I knew the skunks were still in my neighborhood. Nothing to deter a cat if they want to see something. They're curious cats too. Oh, oh. This one has the eyes too. It has those like green eyes because they got some really good pictures of it. So it's already living rent free in my head. I know how to deter a cougar. Yeah, a rifle. Do you know what? So do I. But like the only difference is that where I live, they would put me on the front page of every paper, and I would have to pay a hefty fine. And I mean, like, because they're all tagged. I mean, like 20,000, something crazy, Our parking tickets start at 1,100, and the sheriffs flat out said, and the highway patrol, they said they do that to deter people. I quit feeding the animals. Even city ones saw one too many aggressive eater videos. I'm not getting swarmed by geese, birds, or raccoons because I have stale bread. I do that with the birds though. Like, I don't know. I feed the birds in my backyard. I love your avatar, by the way. I kept on. Has anyone seen the movie Kangaroo Jack? Because I've made about 15 references and no one has said anything. So that means no one has seen the movie Kangaroo Jack. My state has no laws. You would be shamed. You would be shamed. And do you know how I know this? This happened to someone who owned property like 2 or 3 lots over. Rashawn, that's it. I love it. I love it. That's why. It's a bad movie. I'm obsessed with B movies. I am obsessed with B, like even the old the Sci-Fi Channel used to have terrible movies like Big Ass Spider, Rock Monster. I loved all of those terrible movies. Rashawn, are you comfortable with traveling abroad? I had to. That's a good question. I know Alibaba's traveled. Greg Bryan, to anyone who's watching, are you comfortable traveling abroad? That's a great question, Ty. We kill cougars all the time here. They're weirdly protected where I live. You're gonna laugh at me to the point where someone hit one with a car. I pulled over, called animal control, and sat with it until it got picked up and gave it water. You can laugh at me. You can call me a hippie, but I felt sorry for the thing, and it was huge, but it was injured, and they picked it up and took it. So yeah, Californians are different. I sat and cried with the cougar. Oh, that is so funny. Californians we're a different breed. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I have that on VHS, and I have the anniversary re-release. No, I let my passport lapse. Wow. Can I ask why? I renew mine whenever I can and actively hunt coyotes, but they breed too fast. We can do that here. We can do that here too. Here, it's completely legal to hunt coyotes, but again, you're literally talking to someone who sat with a cougar and called, so we really don't. Oh, no country without a Bill of Rights for me. Oh, that's right. Sips my wine. So, Ty, are you willing to go abroad? Because I need you to come with me to Australia to witness Greg Bryant embarrass himself internationally. I'm down to witness an international incident. A passport here is $500. Wow. That's insane. I don't enjoy travel. I don't get the same thing emotionally that other people do from experiences. Do you like driving though? Because I feel like I've done a lot of traveling, but some of the best experience I've ever had in my life have been driving around America. There is still amazing things to do. Yes, so that's a yes. So Ty is definitely down to travel. I'm weird too. Like, if there wasn't a war going on, I had all these plans for this summer, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. I wanted to take my son somewhere to remember, but like, even like going to Mexico is kind of dicey right now. You have to bring the Rue here. I'm not going to America 2.0 just to fight a crackhead deer. I do like driving because I'll tell you, like, I've heard a lot of stories about places not to go. Um, I drove through Utah, had very little problems. I've been to Montana, Arkansas, you name it. And I had a good time. I had a good time. America is worth traveling. And recently I watched a video on somebody who rode a motorcycle to Sturgis. He was black. And it was funny because I kind of had the same experience. People say, "Oh, don't go there. People are racist and all that." It's a once in a lifetime thing. It is a once in a lifetime kind of thing. That's why my Sturgis shirt says 2011 on it. So I try not to listen to a lot of hype, you know. All love. I try not to listen to too much hype. Because like I said, the internet had me scared of going out my front door. And then I started going to downtown, and downtown was amazing and clean. I still laugh. When I see videos and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, Skid Row and this," and like, but the Fashion District was immaculate, which is right next to Skid Row. Oh, sorry, I got to take a coffee and water break. Whoops. All love except for the kangaroo, then it's all smoke. I love car trips. This last trip to Vegas, it completely woke me up and reminded me that I'm a traveler. I got a little too used to sitting at home. The pandemic made me a complete and utter house mouse. And I love nesting at my house, as you can see, with me and my army of sewing machines, my bale of denim, and my 100 Mimi G R11407 coats. As long as you don't sneak on people's property and just pull up into the driveway and talk to them, most people will be very welcoming. I know all about private property. I would never do that. We kind of have the same unspoken laws here. Like if somebody drives past the no trespassing sign, like they're putting their life in their own hands. It's the same way here as anywhere else. But to someone overseas, that would sound crazy, But America is a very funny place. Oh, I miss watching all my Canadian television shows. I'm gonna have to get another VPN. I think I'm gonna have to. I was hooked on all these Canadian shows, and then right in the middle of this one fashion show that I would watch, my VPN got cut off. So I'm still wondering what happens at the end of So Fierce season 2. So earlier I was talking about how my mom let's see, people who have problems just walk on other people's property like they own it. You could be a poacher and try to rob me. For me, it's people who steal gas. We have we have all kinds of like gas powered equipment at the job, and people couldn't stop trying to get in the gas cabinet. It got annoying to the point where I have cameras where I could talk to people at my job. I having to use a VPN to watch something triggered. It bothered because I didn't realize how cut off I was, Rashawn. And then I watched so much Canadian television. I felt like I lived in Hamilton. I felt like I knew more about what was going on in Hamilton than in my own hometown. And then they cut me off. I was into 4 or 5 shows. I was invested in Canada. And then something happened. I don't know if the company I went through got cut off or something happened and they cut me off. And I was so mad. And it's been a while because I really haven't tried because it like you said, you're triggered because it's a lot of work. I'll stick to my government sanctioned television. And the sad thing is, I pay for certain channels because I got cut off on my VPN. So I pay through cable to watch certain channels because I watch a lot of hockey. And that's where it gets pricey if you have cable. What is the worst B movie you've ever seen? See, actually, I can answer that real quick. Left Behind. The first one with Kirk Cameron. Left Behind. And I own Left Behind, the first one and the second one, because I collect VHSs. Left Behind. You are awesome. Oh. Greg in the Roo is the worst. Oh. Be right back, Ice Tea. Oh, that's funny. That's I am an utter and complete nihilist. So watching something like Kirk Cameron be insane for 3 hours is like I'm telling you, I have that in my collection because I consider it a B movie. I didn't get into the weird Christian tube or whatever it is. I really didn't get into that because that's just not my thing, But like if it's a bad movie and it's on a VHS, I probably have it. I love Left Behind. Kirk Cameron is a sociopath. I said it, and I want to say that without an allegedly. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that is hilarious. But again, I love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I love B movies, even the old Leslie Nielsen, all the slapstick stuff. I can't believe I'm admitting this right now. On one of the local stations, I still watch the Three Stooges. I think it's because the dispensary by my house is really legit, but I love the Three Stooges. I saw a movie called Trees. It was a shot-for-shot remake of Jaws, but the sharks were trees. Oh, that's awful. Oh, that's awful. I like religious studies stuff, even if I don't agree with it. It's beautiful to me to be able to believe in some of this. I wish I could. I agree with you. I 100%. Still to this day, I was obsessed with Dan Brown books. I've read almost every book that Dan Brown has put out. There's a cabinet in front of me that has all of the books that I consider like I need near me. Most of them are Dan Brown books. I love Dan Brown books. I'm not anti stories. I loved the Da Vinci Code. Judge me. I loved it. But I looked at it as a story, Left Behind is a terrible movie. And Kirk Cameron scares me as a human being. Oh, have you seen the terrible Kevin Sorbo movies as a Christian professor? Okay, so Greg, I watch people who critique those movies because I cannot take those movies. Those are bad. Like, we used to joke about Tubi, but last week Tubi surpassed Disney and like Netflix for views. And so I made a decision as a grown man that I will no longer clown Tubi because Tubi has grown up. But like, I refuse to watch a lot of those movies. That Rue is ready for you. Hopping back. Welcome back, Alibaba. Welcome back. Welcome back. Is he the Da Vinci Code? Dude, absolutely. He is. He is. One of the worst books ever written. The Da Vinci Code is hot garbage. I love Deception Point. I love Dan Brown. I love Dan Brown. Absolutely, Ty. Absolutely. All love. All love. My friend just introduced me to a show I got addicted to immediately on Tubi. I was shocked. I was an Entertainment Tonight guy when I was a kid, but Entertainment Tonight used to say the numbers, and they really don't give numbers anymore. So I watched a few YouTubers that give numbers, and Tubi's growing up. Good for you, kid. Tubi is coming up in the world. I laughed so hard when I saw, so I was like, I can't joke about Tubi anymore. I feel like a hypocrite. Hey, you were there. I've said awful things about Tubi. That's why I'm giving Tubi the thumb right now, because it's shocking on how much it's doing, on how well it's doing. Oh man. It's another night. It's another night where I'm like, oh, I'm only gonna go for a minute. 3 hours in, I'm like full road flares. There was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let me go through my pictures. Let's go back to the Twitter. There was another picture. Oh, that's terrible. That is a terrible meme that I cannot show. Okay, I have a question. I also read the insane feminist theory that Da Vinci Code is based on. Is Terrence Howard level? Oh, Terrence Howard is not allowed in the House of Sewing. I'd have to go to the store to go get some tinfoil to talk about Terrence Howard. I hope he gets well. I hope he finds what he's looking for. But Terrence Howard needs help. When I was doing the Harley hands, to see what holding my arms up for a while was like, felt tense. I was like, wait, it's just holding up my arm. I'm telling you, but do that for a minute. You build muscle memory though. Eventually you'll build. It's kind of like riding a bike. It's one of those things. As long as you hold on to just always remember to always hold on to the clutch, you'll be fine. The theory is that the Holy Grail was Mary's. You would think I could get behind that. I loved that book. No, he's just been on the deep end lately. That's all. I'm just saying. You haven't opened up the flower of life and seen super symmetry. All right. Let me go get my tinfoil hat and look like a tinfoil conquistador. You know, I'm a bit of a nihilist. So when people start going off on tangents like that, I'm like, it's kind of like that scene when Anakin was becoming Darth Vader and Padme, is that her name? And she's like, you're going somewhere where I can't follow. And I will not go there. It's 19 circles. 19. Nope. 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 Terrence Howard. Nope. Till you do right by your family, Terrence Howard, I'm going to give you the Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, we've played a lot of this, Terrence. It's not 19 circles. It's the keys to life and create. He just found the 19 keys. Where are my headbands? I've been watching them for years. Where are my headbands? Oh, Terrence, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I love how they dress. There's a channel called Earn Your Leisure on YouTube, and they dress like /military /Ninja Turtle. I'm here for it. Oh, I made a bunch of headbands because I watch Earn Your Leisure. They have a lot of financial advice. I love watching their channel. They're smart young men. But it's easy to get sucked up in that movement as well. It's really easy. The 19 keys. The second you said 19, I knew exactly what you're talking about. That Padme line is from the Bible. Oh, Jesus. Whatever. I love that movie. I love that movie. Okay, let me pull up Twitter again. I should have took a picture. There was a guy that had so many cardboard boxes on his little Toyota truck that it was sunken down, but I got mad and went around him. And this was a picture, and I didn't get their license plate, but I want you guys to see, what does this mean? I saw this bag on the back of someone's car. Are they pro-husky? Are they anti-husky? Is this husky in need of help? Why is it jumping out of glass? Why does it look like it's trying to tell me something important? Oh, you get caught in traffic in LA and you get stuck behind people with the oddest cars. What does this husky sticker represent? I am dying to know. I'm going away, and you will look for me where I go. You cannot come. You will die, and sin nobody will take. I get it, Gray. What? And I'm sorry, I have one of those brains where when I saw this, I was like, this makes no sense whatsoever. No, I haven't, and I know they're insane. I know they talk. I had a friend in high school who had one, and they had baby locks, and they had baby gates all over their house, and I'm like, there are no babies in this house. Like, yes, there are. We have huskies. Those things, they speak English. It just seemed crazy to me. I don't know. And I'm glad I didn't get their license plate either. It just seemed insane to me. And what are Huskies doing in a place where it goes 104? Okay, I have always said this. And where I live is the desert. Like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding you. If I get in my car and drive 20 minutes, 30 minutes east, I start hitting what are called, like, there's a certain type of cactus, a Joshua tree cactus, that's only here and in Israel because that's the only climate on earth where it's hot enough to grow. I literally live in the desert, and people own huskies here. I'm just saying, he aped the Bible. The whole thing was a Jesus metaphor until the 7th movie. I love those movies. Huskies are crackheads in dog form. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you leave in Thai. I should take off myself. Eventually, I will finish this project. I'll go for a little bit longer, though. We're having a good time talking about huskies and the crazy things that people do in LA County. Let me see if I have any more pictures. I take random pictures. If you are leaving, Ty, have a great night and thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're not, also, I don't know if it's me or if I don't pay attention, but the filter for my air conditioner was $31 today, and I was like, when did that happen? Yeah, I think that was the picture. That's just me crying at Walmart. Western Main Street writers couldn't help themselves from doing bad Jesus metaphors and Matrix to Game of Thrones, and it's I'm gonna say something controversial. I have never seen the Game of Thrones. I have never seen. I know that's insane. Thank you. I was at Walmart and I'm now, I'm buying candles, all kinds of stuff, and I needed filters. I have an odd size filter, but I can still buy it at Walmart. Long story short, it was $31 for 2 filters, and I'm like, but I needed it. But I have never seen Game of Thrones, not one episode. I'll see you in your ruined Thunderdome. Ty, thank you so much for stopping by. Seriously, you are a valued member here in the House of Sewing, so thank you. Absolutely thank you. And I love your new picture. Well, you are missing out on being extremely disappointed. I have never seen the Game of Thrones. Even, I'll tell you, even my own mom, like every once in a while, she's like, what is wrong with you? Because she has it on DVD. She's obsessed with it. I know I'm the one person. And so when people start talking about it, I just do this. I have no idea what people are talking about. Like when people were getting, like, I'm not kidding. Actually, I can talk about it because one of the people don't work there anymore. I broke up a fist fight over spoilers at my job. This was years ago, but people almost got in a fist fight. And I was like, I don't watch this show, so no one's hurting my feelings. But men, you get enough men in a circle, they act like babies. Repeat. Oh, I've only seen a couple episodes. Thank you. I have never seen Game of Thrones or the spin-off. It's because like Star Trek Discovery came out, like all kinds of different shows. It was at one point the best TV show ever made. Then it kept going. That's how I felt about The Walking Dead. I made the mistake of reading the comics first, so I knew when they veered off. But when they offed one of my favorite characters, I'm not kidding you, I quit watching it. And it's so sad because I loved that show so much. I would have dreams about it. That show lived rent-free in my head. I am so sorry to disappoint you, Ty. I am so sorry. Game of Thrones is top tier drama. Wow. That is really like The Walking Dead. Yes. I loved that show. And then when they offed my character, I'm not kidding you, from that episode on, I quit watching. Man, I used to have viewing parties. An ex-girlfriend of mine who's the one who got me into it. She would have parties, and then I started having parties. I loved The Walking Dead. Hot Tea is actually pretty good, and the plot is finished. It doesn't suck. Walking Dead was great for a long time. I miss that show. Part of me wants to get back into it. It was so much worse than The Walking Dead as far as how bad it fell off. That show killed my favorite band. The bass player was also a makeup guy that ended up doing the zombie. That's awesome. The Walking Dead. I'm a solid fan. I absolutely, I have a Herschel t-shirt. I have, I'm going to wear it. I have an In Carol We Trust t-shirt. I used to wear that to the gym. What else? I have a couple Daryl Dixon t-shirts. I was obsessed with The Walking Dead. Obsessed. If you're going to sleep, have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping by. That was my show. The shows I enjoyed more than ever: The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I forgot about Vikings. I was into Vikings. Ragnar Lothbrok. I was into Vikings. Currently, Interview with the Vampire is amazing. My mom's watching that. I think I should get into that. I find zombies boring, so I never watched The Walking Dead, but it would be like if Rick just became a huge pansy and did nothing after hyping him up for 8 years. Yikes. The Wire was amazing until the last season. I really never got into The Wire either. I've seen a million clips though, because someone I used to stream with in the UK was obsessed with that show. And I'm like, oh, here we go. Another Wire clip. Carol shaking fizz. And it's a giant In Carol We Trust t-shirt. I have a huge In Carol We Trust. That was right after the Look at the Flowers episode. That's when the shirts started being, you know what, also a lot of my shirts were from the Facebook days of when people were, well, I was one of those people buying those extremely strange shirts off of Facebook. I bought a million bootleg shirts. Excuse me. Off of Facebook. I still have a ton of them. I gotta put that Herschel shirt on, see if it still fits. I was wearing my Daryl Dixon shirt the other day, but the Daryl Dixon shirt, it's a legit shirt because it's just a guy standing in front of a motorcycle. So I wear that shirt everywhere. Most people think it's like a Harley shirt or something. I was really into The Walking Dead. I don't know. Is there any show that you guys are watching now that you're into? I need a new show. I need something that's new. Rashawn was saying Interview with a Vampire. And I'm down to buy entire series. Like, that's how much I am starved for new television. I have a theory that only people in cities can buy into zombie shows. You know what, though? The Walking Dead, even the television show, it was a zombie show, but it spoke on the human condition, on how janky human beings would be. I'm not into any shows now. I'm kind of in a show hole myself. My problem is I watch shows from the 70s and 80s. So I fall into like these reliable shows, but I'm not watching anything new. I would trust Carol, Texas KKK chapter before I trusted Carol of The Walking Dead. Negan would get gotten. Thank you. 0.5. 0.5. You know what, though? I stopped watching the show after a certain point. So Carol was a hero. Like when she freed everybody from those weird cannibal people, like I quit watching it after Glenn passed. I was done. We would have the whole thing wrapped up in 2 weeks. That show hurt my feelings. That show, you know what's really funny? I judge things by if they can invoke anything out of me. I watch a lot of comedy, but I do not laugh. So if I watch something and I laugh out loud, I'm like, wow, this is valuable because I literally laughed out loud. And I don't know, The Walking Dead spoke more on the human condition of what would happen if the grid went down. Because if you took zombies out of the equation, people would still be acting like that if the grid went down completely, you know? Not everybody, but I'm just saying, you know? So The Walking Dead really was a weird case study on how crazy people would get. At least in my eyes, because they veered way off from the comic early. I got up to the city where, oh, with people in armor, Eugene was too prominent a figure and annoyed me. Him and Princess. See, I couldn't do it. I could, no, especially Eugene because he's a liar. Cities would be a disaster. I'm arrogant because I live on the very northern part, so I would be ghost. But it's true. We had this argument, or we fought this we fought this one out on Rashawn's channel. But they went out into the country, it would be fine and still have laws. But again, that's a television show. I'm telling you, during the 94 earthquake, the entire infrastructure disappeared. We were getting military drops because we were cut off because the freeway fell. Nothing happened. Everybody kind of acted accordingly. You know, it was the strangest thing. It was a potluck, and there was a lot of people who were scared to go in their house for months. So for months, we were eating out in front of the house. Well, you know, it's California, so it wasn't raining. But people were, you know, they weren't that bad. At least that's what I think, says the guy who still has faith in humanity. But, you know, I had a good friend who moved away to Alaska, and I walked into a dispensary one day, and I hadn't seen him in 10, 15 years. And he moved back to California, and I asked him, why did you move back? And he told me a story about he lived out in the middle of nowhere in Alaska. And long story short, he almost passed away because he broke his ankle. And he in all these complications, but he was so far away from help that he had to get in his car. He crashed his truck twice, had to get himself out of the ditch he fell into, and barely made it to the hospital. And after that, he moved back to California because he realized that there's power in numbers. And I know that's sad, but it's true. My dream was to live in Alaska, and then I went there and realized I wouldn't survive the winter. So anyone who lives in Alaska, you are a rugged human in my eyes. But as a Californian, I can say that about like any northern state where they have actual weather. Yeah, nobody is coming to save you here. I'm not kidding you. Right now, if I called an ambulance, there would be one here within 45 seconds, if not less. If not less. Alaska, where dreams go to die. My whole life, I don't know, I had this romantic view. My entire life, I wanted to live in Alaska, and someone I absolutely loved and respected was like, bro, let's go. You won't survive the winter. And we went during the summer, and I was freezing. And I'm activated by the sun. I'm not saying anything crazy. I'm not trying to catch skin cancer or anything, but like I am activated by the sun. When I lived in Oregon, it affected me that the sun does not shine. My first year, I'm not kidding you, the sun only came out like 35 days. And Alaska is very much like that. So I knew I wouldn't be able to live there. We had a hard freeze here that froze my entire pressure tank and lines. I had to replace all the plumbing in my house in the middle of winter before I had running water. I could do that. It wouldn't be a Bob Vila job, but I could do it. Oh, man. Do you know what's so funny? We take things like that for granted here. Like we throw things down our garbage disposal that you could never do in a cold weather city because your pipes would freeze and break. We throw everything down garbage disposals in California because we do not have cold weather like that. I know a woman that moved there because God told her to. She didn't last long. I always wonder if God was disappointed. God was disappointed. So true. Hypoclamantia is an issue here for my melanated friends. What that I was wondering where that wow came from. It took me 3 days. I don't know. I love, like I always say this. I really look back at my Portland days with this real romantic view because I was swashbuckling. I was in my 20s. I had a great time. That place doesn't exist. The condition I was in was better than the weather. So I met people. I won. I lost. I experienced life. But I don't know if I could live there again. I think about it all the time because, like, even today, it was 90 something by like noon, and I had some more shopping to do. And I was out and about, and I was like, this is fine. This is absolutely fine. And I know most people, 91 is like danger, danger, Will Robinson. But to me, that's like we're all walking around saying, oh man, it's not even hot yet. It's not even hot yet. So you acclimate to wherever you live, no matter where you live. Everyone gangster until you don't have running water for 3 days in January. Absolutely. I discovered that in Oregon. Like, I lived in a house with people that knew what they were doing. And so they schooled me up on life, because during the winter, it's different up north where they actually have 4 seasons than somewhere where we have 2 seasons, 90 degrees and 70 degrees. And it rains sometimes. Sometimes it rains here every once in a while. But we do not have seasons here in California like that. I've actually lived in a place though that is entirely on well water and stuff like that. I don't think the average city person could take it. But we'll solve all these problems next time. Oh, it is definitely Saturday night here in the House of Sewing. You know what? I want to say something really quick. We have been growing here in the House of Sewing, and I would like to thank everybody who has been liking and subscribing. I thank you. I do like to waffle, ramble, and sew, and I thank everybody who's stuck with me throughout the years. It's been a roller coaster, and I am not against saying thank you, and I humbly say thank you because it's a big deal to me. Because honestly, in the beginning of this year, I was at like 200 something subscribers, so I have to constantly acknowledge that and thank people because I have grown this year. So, sewing and growing. You don't have a chance to take it. I had no running water for a month in the 1880s. And you had me going on. See, Alibaba and I are time travelers. We've been around since the beginning. You don't know what you're talking about. You didn't have a choice but to fix it. Alibaba, one of the reasons Alibaba and I are not watching Interview with the Vampire is because we don't want to watch them get it wrong. Time for night. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you so much. Oops, the 1996. Do you know what's really funny? You would say that. El Nino was one of the worst years of my life. Oh man, the second you said 1996, I was triggered. It rained all year. That was a crazy year here in California. Absolutely. You notice how I haven't asked anything of it this evening? A few things only. I'm trying to reduce me questioning the A word on stream. I know it triggers everybody else's. Tell your Rue to get some rest too. My Roo is doing push-ups on the side yard waiting for you. That Roo is sitting there doing it's sitting there doing with 2 dumbbells, it's pulling one up on its tail. Oh, so y'all are book snobs. Oh, no, never, never. No, no, no. No, I'm not a book snob. Depends on the book. No, I'm not. I actually fell into a certain series because someone trashed this one guy so much. I bought his entire series and I love it. His name's Michael Stackpole. I love Michael Stackpole books. Rashawn, I was in the 90s. Those books are prawn for a white woman. I said it. Oh, before we go, I completely forgot. Speaking of prawn, I have the Clan of the Cave Bear, and I have the entire series. That whole would you trust a bear in the woods or anything has revitalized the inner bear inside of me. So even my bear books have come out. The Clan of the Cave Bear. Oh, I forgot about that. Oh, that's a good one to end on. Oh. They make some big changes to interview, but it was a great show for someone who never read the books. I read a couple of them just because my mom was obsessed with those books. I read Ronin. I read a few of those books back in the day, though. And let's be real, like the only reason I read Ronin was because it was in my parents' bathroom. Interview and Charming of a Sleeping Beauty were like 50 Shades in the 90s. So what did we accomplish today? We got lining done. I pulled out my sewing machine. I showed everything off. And I purchased this at the thrift store. This real life old school hockey mask. So we got a lot accomplished this evening here in the House of Sewing. And it's another victory here in the House of Sewing, as always. I'm ready. I am ready. Do you know how much everyone is going to fall on the ground when I show up with that to play hockey? I will be back at it on Monday. And that is a real hockey mask. It's not like it's not like a fake one. That is a real hockey mask. I will have a finished product for you on Monday. I would also take Jason. No issue. Oh, Greg, you man. Could you imagine a new viewer at the point that you put them? I know. But I kept on prefacing it with and it's true. I'm obsessed with hockey. I watched the hockey draft yesterday and the day before. The season's been over barely like 5 or 6 days, and I'm already starved for hockey. So I'm just sad. I'm just sad is what it is. But when you're into a certain and that's why I'm like, I need a show because I'm in a show hole. Because the Dodgers don't play every day. So I'm in a show hole right now. I need something to watch. I will be back at it on Monday. Hey, Skit's coming at the very last moment. Rah, hello. Jason is not the issue. What the puck? I used to be like that with sports. You know why? It's because hockey is on for, I want to say, almost 10 months out of the year. And so it's just always on TV. And my entire life, it's just always been on. And I've watched it. And at this point in my life, like, I'm obsessed with hockey. Yay, how's it going? I know it sounds crazy. And a friend of mine years ago, like I would watch it on TV, but a friend of mine got me going back to the stadium, so it really got me back into hockey. But if you have any show recommendations, I am watching the NHL draft. That's how I'm sitting here sewing and watching the draft. Like I looked up and the Ducks got a pick, and I was like, okay, this is sad. This is sad. I'm watching a bunch of kids get drafted. All right. We are 3 hours and 23 minutes in. Anyone who watches in the future, I absolutely thank you. And I'm serious. I've lost and gained a bunch of subscribers lately. I humbly thank everybody. The house of growing, the house of sewing is growing. You know what's really funny? I thought when I got to this point, I would always like look back and be like, haha, nah. I hope everyone is successful. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you get subscribers. Even the people who don't like me, I hope they succeed. I have no ill will towards anyone. Everyone in the Walking Dead and Jason movies is just a skill issue. Have a great evening, everyone. I'll be back at it on Monday for sure. I want to thank everybody who's here, everybody who's arrived, everybody who watches this in the future. Again, I've gained a few subscribers. I thank everybody. I'll be back at it on Monday. You don't want the smoke from a skinny. And with that, I'll be back at it on Monday. And like I always say, reinforce your seams. Do not fight a kangaroo. Be yourself. And I will definitely see you next. I hit the mute. That's how you know I'm tired. I will definitely see you guys next time. All love. Thank you so much, Ty. Thank you so much. I hope everybody has a great evening. See you guys later.